Good evening, Commanders. This is Pioneer Wes, and we are checking systems for launch. Should be an easy night out there. Tonight we're going to be riding in the CGV Medion's Call, which is an Explorer class Diamondback. No real aim other than to go out and explore a few systems. We are going to be heading out to the Luke sector tonight, looking at a round trip of about 104 jumps, 52 there, and depends on where we end up when we get to the system, but roughly about the same back. Alright, this is all going to be part of Operation Anaconda, trying to scan a few new systems, find some cool planets out there, and maybe make a little bit of money on the way. I hope everyone is ready for a smooth flight, not anticipating much trouble at all. And of course, with the Explorer class Diamondback, with its current loadout, we're looking at jumps of about 41 to 44 per jump. And of course, we do not have any mounted weaponry. This is purely an expedition. Looking at about 2,100 light years out. All right. That being said, all systems look go, sitting pretty at a cool temperature of about 65 degrees inside the cabin, dropping little bit by little bit, but we're going to be nice and snug tonight and have a little bit of fun. All right. Of course, we are here at Parazinski Orbital in the Belgatan system. A good launching point for those of you that are heading out towards the eastern part of the galaxy. High security system. This station is a fair bit away from the sun, so if you're someone that is fairly low on gas upon your arrival, I'd recommend maybe trying a different system. But for us, we've got a grade A fuel scoop ready to go, should not have any issues. I had piloted out there a little bit earlier this evening, about the same number of jumps out, just trying to explore a few different areas, and really did not have as many issues as I did trying to go west. Of course, if we go west, you end up in a few sectors that are nothing but brown dwarfs for the most part. It can be a little daunting for early explorers. But here, really not too many issues. Of course, I've had a lot of fun here in Elite Dangerous. Of course, you know me, sticking entirely with the exploration stuff. I have not done much in the ways of combat or trading. A little bit of mining, I guess. But outside of that, purely exploration, trying to find some cool systems, trying to find some cool planets, make a little bit of money along the way. Operation Anaconda, of course, is all about trying to use limit of 5 units. Okay. Let's see if we can't recalculate our route here. Let's see. Right. I get that system occasionally. I'm not entirely sure what it means or why it exists. What if we go over here to this one? Let's give this a look. See if that changes things up a little bit, makes it a little bit easier. Typically, it understands what my jump drive can and cannot do. But yeah, this is purely exploration. You know, I have not found too much in the way of just absolutely crazy stuff. I did come across the 3 black hole system, and that is just outside the bubble, over in this direction. Seems to be a popular tourist spot. There was a tourist beacon. But outside of that, really just a couple of twin suns here and there. Found a really cool system with twin A-level suns. That was pretty interesting. A-stars. Okay, and of course, remember to honk. We're not going to be doing too much in the ways of scanning systems just outside the bubble. Most of it ends up being degraded signals and that kind of thing. Usually, once I stop receiving encoded emissions and degraded emissions, that kind of thing, that's when we start scanning. It's just past the, I think it's Werguides sector, something like that. It's just outside the coal system. It's the next big travel space that kind of has a ring around the bubble from what I've noticed. But yeah, once we get past that, then we can do some serious scanning. I mean, you can make money scanning. I know there are a lot of explorers that do the Road to Riches pathway, where you go through the bubble and scan a bunch of systems. Even if they've already been discovered, you make a lot of money that way. I prefer trying to find new things, right? And so, you know, if we find something that has been discovered and has been scanned, that's perfectly fine. But I would prefer for it to be at least a little bit further out. It's just nothing too terribly exciting trying to scan systems that are just outside the bubble, where a lot of the early explorers, you know, they've traveled them well. That being said, there are a few ways that you can kind of tell. You know, out towards the west, we hit those dwarf star systems. I don't recall if we had done that on the last stream, but there's definitely the Brue systems or something like that. It's a little spicy, to say the least, because it's nothing but brown dwarfs, and you've really got to kind of manually plot your pathways once you reach that area. But, you know, that's kind of a nice little barrier, too, for the serious explorers. And once you hit that area, you also start getting, even though it's only a couple, I think it's maybe 1,000 light years from the bubble, it's not that far at all. It's really where things start to separate, right? Like, you've got all the people that like the combat and maybe a little bit of light exploration around the bubble, right? A lot of the beginners who maybe didn't stick with the game all that long. And then you hit that system. You hit those sectors. And that's where a lot of those beginners start to stop their travels, right? So anything past that is really for serious explorers, which means, you know, fewer and fewer people going out that far to begin with. Like, it's really maybe a 30-minute trip, right? But even that distance, when it comes to the kind of ships that you need, the jump drives that you need, and just the general interest of it. Like once you hit that kind of ring around the bubble, that's where you start kind of spreading out a little bit. And of course, there's that nice middle ground, right? Between the early explorers and the, you know, kind of the newbie players, and then the explorers that are trying to go way out there, right? You know, there's a nice little bridge in between. A lot of the big time explorers basically are making their route to Beagle Point or Colonia, or, you know, the farthest sector that they can possibly reach or something like that. And they kind of scan along the way, but they don't really spend a whole lot of time exploring those sectors in full. They're just kind of passing through, right? And those are where you can make some fairly good money. That bridge between the far galaxy explorers and the newbie players, right? So that's kind of where we're headed. It's still not terribly far out from the bubble. You know, it's not super convenient, which is really not too bad. You know, this round trip, we spend a minute or two in each sector, in each system, right? Round trip, you're looking at a couple of hours minimum, not including scan time, faffing about once you get to your routed destination, you know, things like that. Refueling, obviously that took a little bit of time there for a second. So, you know, you're talking 3 or 4 hours round trip just to sell some data, right? Like that's essentially what all of this is for, is to sell it to the cartographer. So it's not super convenient. I can see why it's not super popular just to go out, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 out from the bubble, and just that's it. Because eventually you're going to have to make your way back to sell things, and that can be, it's a time investment, right? I mean, you can stop the game and pick up where you left off, but you know, if you've only got an hour or two to play, you're probably not doing the whole round trip in one session. We'll go as far as we can. I don't have any particular plans this evening. We've got the day off tomorrow. Might fit in another stream of Liza P or something along those lines, so that should be kind of fun. But I just kind of wanted to do something a little bit guerrilla tonight. You know, I was planning on doing this anyway, so I figured why not take everyone around for the ride, right? Okay, what do we got here? So we've got a lot of metal content bodies here, which is good. Problem is, I don't know if I have scanned this system before, so that could be a little inconvenient. Well, I think I have. Let me take a look here on the map here in a second, and it'll let me know if I have actually been here. Yeah. It's always difficult with the HIP systems. HIP systems can be really cool. A lot of your black hole systems and that kind of thing are usually labeled HIP systems for whatever reason. They use it a little bit different naming convention from everything else around them. But this seems kind of familiar with all the metal bodies. We'll just have to make do and see how it works out for us. You know, for the first few jumps, it might be pretty similar to my last path that I took. I mean, there's so many stars out there. You can kind of move around in whatever way you want, right? And even if you are going to a system that's fairly close to somewhere you've been before, theoretically, there's so many stars that it shouldn't be an issue. You should still be routing to new things. But you never know. Maybe the game wants you to go to the big tourist destinations. I don't know. Okay, what do we got here? Ah, here we go. All right. We got a fair amount. I might have to travel to one of these to actually get last few, just because they are probably behind the star. Just looking at it. Yeah, let me check my system map first. Galaxy map, I mean. Just to double check that I haven't been here before. Have I been here? It doesn't look like it. And it's visited. Where did I go last time then? Okay. Oh, yeah, see, I dipped down there. Yeah. I don't think I have been to this system yet. This is a slightly different route than the last one that I took. Last time I went down, you know, tried to get as low as I could before I start losing stars down there, right? So we should diverge fairly quickly. Let's take a look, see if any of these are actually worth it. We're really only looking for terraformables at this point. There we go. I try doing FF scanning as much as I can, but when it comes to actually making my way to a lot of these worlds, that's a lot of work. All right, we have a couple options here. All right, looks like we've got 3 worlds that could be worth a little bit. Of course, got my price chart, my price spreadsheet up, thanks to all of the other explorers out there gathering this data to let us know whether or not something is even worth it. Very important. I have noticed that a lot of the advice does feature very heavily on, obviously, Earthlights are always big, water worlds, and terraformable. Hope that is not what I meant to do. That damaged a few things. That's fine. There we go. That's okay. We'll be okay. Once again, not exactly what I had in mind. That's a misclick to me. Yep. Oh, frame shift on cooldown. That's all right. I've got a couple limits if I need to. But yeah, so there's definitely a focus on terraformable, high metal content bodies. Obviously, water worlds, with terraformable water worlds being worth even more, and Earthlights. But I noticed on the price sheet that terraformable rocky bodies, just regular old rocky bodies, are not exactly small fries. Like, you get a fairly decent amount on them. So, you know, I've started doing that. I'm sure when you have a lot of money, it's probably not worth that extra 100,000 or whatever. Yeah. But for me, when you're trying to save up for the Anaconda, it can definitely be worth it. Now, the Anaconda, I haven't decided how much we will actually use it. You're looking at about 146 million to buy the ship, and then probably about the same to get it outfitted. That's going to be the tricky part, is outfitting it. Getting the A-level frame drive, all of that good stuff. You're looking at around another 50 million or so, I think, just for the frame drive from what I was looking at. It's not cheap, right? But I was thinking about using that for some of the tourist destinations, right? At some point, I'm going to want to go to Colonia. And you can definitely do that in a Diamondback Explorer. I'll be honest, I love this Diamondback Explorer. But it's going to take you, almost twice as long in the Diamondback as it would be in an Anaconda. I'm doing, what, 40-something? I think Anaconda can get up to 80 light years per jump, something along those lines. Now, it does have to refuel more, which can be a little bit tricky. But overall, you know, if I'm just wanting to hit up the tourist destinations, then maybe the Anaconda would be the way to go. I haven't decided though yet. You know, there are options. I'm not necessarily in any rush to try and figure out a lot of this. You know, the Diamondback Explorer, once I get to Colonia, might just stay out there. Who knows? It could be a possibility. I've heard that there's a lot of really cool systems there. Just looking at the galaxy map, there are a billion stars surrounding it. So even with all of the people that make the travels there, like, you're not going to have to go very far before you are just in a swarm of stars that have probably never been touched. You know, it's basically limited to, you know, the people that have made it to Colonia, and then even narrower than that, the people that like to explore around Colonia. And then even narrower than that, the serious explorers who are doing it for more than just a little bit money, more money, right? So, yeah, that could be fun. That could be a case to bring the Diamond back instead of the Anaconda. But I kind of want the Anaconda for some like really deep space stuff. So we'll just we'll play around. We'll see how it goes. But I do really love this ship. It's fun to fly. It looks cool. Is there another chat that's my primary chat? Oh, this is all that YouTube gives me. This is the main chat, I suppose. But yeah, we'll play around. Hello, by the way. But yeah, we'll play around. We'll see. I've heard the Anaconda is it flies like a brick, which might have a little bit to do with it. But ultimately, it all comes down to which ships look the coolest, right? Like, that's, if I'm going to be taking screenshots, which is really the main reason to do a lot of this stuff, then yeah, both this and the Anaconda are pretty nice. But you know, I only get 400 free arcs per week, so it's going to take about a month to get a, you know, even just a basic skin on either of the ships. It's very odd that this game has RTX in it. It's really kind of weird. Yeah, I was looking at some of the trade routes and whatnot, or the travel routes up to Colonia. You know, they have the Colonia Interstellar highway. I don't know exactly how all of that works, other than, hey, there's a few, other than there's like a few like very important parts to hit up. But I'm gonna try following it as best as I can. But yeah, I was looking at a few stops along the highway, and like I saw some screenshots of the Collection of Wonders. I was like, okay, so that's what this game can do. Yeah, it sounds like I'm gonna need to make my way up there, right? Like I want to hit up all the tourist spots, but I also want to do some exploring too. So yeah, Ray Phantom. Yeah, I was watching Brother Sebastius or whatever his name is over on Twitch. I just wanted my free skin for the Twitch drops, but he had a pretty cool chat. A lot of really good information, and yeah, he was talking about the Crate Phantom a little bit. It's a cool looking little guy. Oh, there we go. I don't know why it jumped all the way up there. Okay, 6 probes. Sounds good. We should be able to do it in that. And of course, it's not a huge deal if we lose a little bit. This has already been mapped, so this is just purely to try and get some income along the way. Yeah, but once we get out a little bit further, then we can start looking like for unmapped areas, right? I've been lucky on the past few. I've only found one Earth-like, and I was the first to both discover it and map it, which was really good. I made a lot of money off of that one. But for the most part, you know, I've had most of my luck just trying to find metallic and water worlds. I don't really see a whole lot of ammonia worlds. Water worlds, I think I've come across maybe 1 or 2 that were terraformable, and most of the others were just kind of like regular water worlds. Just still good money. But you know, just doing the metallics, that alone in a lot of systems has probably made me more money than trying to find that super rare Earth-like. Like when you take the number of systems that you're jumping over the course of, you know, a normal trip, it's pretty good money overall. So, you know, don't skip them. Yeah, 60. Yeah, I'm looking at about 40, 42. I might be a little heavy right now, and I only have the grade 2 boost. I've been too lazy trying to go around mining phosphorus and chemical processors to try and get the grade 3 boost. I'm sure that would help out a lot. But right now it's just solely about making money, and I'm not really in a huge rush to do a lot of this. Like all of my space games, it's just all about the exploration. Let's go out there, let's, you know, find some cool systems. Get some good screenshots, right? But yeah, you know, before I do make the trip to Colonia, I probably do want to try getting the grade 3 boost if I stick with the DBX. I like the ship, but that's a long way out. It's what, 22,000 light years? So that's basically 7 times as far out as I've ever been. I mean, granted, the number of times that I've gone out, you know, 2.5, and then come back, like if you added all of that together, I probably traveled easily more than the trip to Colonia. But yeah, might as well get all of that stuff while I'm up there, while I'm here, so I don't have to make the travel back to Felicity Farseer. Done the Guardian? Nah, I haven't really done anything with the story or unlocking a whole lot of stuff. I unlocked Farseer, and that was about it. I basically hopped out of the bubble as soon as I could and started exploring. Almost the moment that I was not getting shot down every 2 seconds by pirates, right? I did just enough to get the upgrades and materials that I needed. That's about it. I know that you can do like those upgrades, and that might be something that I just decide to look into if I decide to upgrade to a bigger ship. Here we go. Yeah, it's just I'm not entirely sure how important all of that is when you're just doing pure exploration, which is, I mean, that's really the only reason I play a lot of space games is for the exploration. Same with No Man's Sky. I might have whiffed that. It's got kind of an odd turn to it. That's fine. Maybe we'll get lucky. It'll cover that, at least that extra 6%. Yeah, No Man's Sky was kind of the same way, you know. I go out, I just try finding, you know, the perfect proc gen ship for me, or the perfect planet to build something on. And this is kind of the same way. I just try to go out and find the coolest sites that I can. Okay, so we had one more, I think, here. Gotta say no to free money. Because this one's also a terraforming candidate. Alright. Well, this might be a longer journey than I thought. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We'll be out here a bit if all of our systems go like this, but that also means, hopefully, a pretty good payday once we actually get back. I think I can probably start turning. All right. 10 light year more jump. It's pretty nice. All right, that's good to know. I might have to look into it. You know, it really kind of depends on how much I'm gonna have to grind to do it. Like I said, I don't even want to bother dealing with phosphorus and chemical boosters because I need to put in more cargo, and then I have to worry about pirates just getting back to Farseer base. And it's not like I can't escape them. It's just an annoyance, right? Because I know the moment I get phosphorus in my cargo hold, I'm gonna get interdicted, right? Like, it's just gonna happen. But, you know, the grade 3 might be nice. I kind of need to look into the charge boost, like how fast it actually gets you into your jump. Because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time just charging my light drive, right? Just waiting for the thing to charge after I've fuel scooped and just trying to get to the next system. So yeah, maybe the speed boost, the charging boost, might help out a little bit, but I don't really know what all that's gonna need. Right. Basically, any time that I've decided, maybe I can see how to fix this problem. I just look for the Reddit thread. Like 50 different how to explore OPs on Reddit. So it just makes it a little bit easier. I gotta say, I mean, if nothing else, space game communities are always super helpful with the information. There you go. Like a space game Wikipedia rivals the biggest of actual Wikipedias in a lot of cases. Only the reboot. Oh, well, that's useless to me then. unless I misclick again and accidentally knock myself out of my charge. Which, to be fair, could happen. Okay. So now we make our way forward. Let's go. Gotta get around the planet. That's fine. We'll get out a little ways. Quuzy's out. Alright. But, you know, I guess the important thing, and I've seen it echoed a lot among other commanders, is that as long as you're having fun with whatever you're doing, you can kind of make the game whatever you want. And I definitely feel that's true. You know, I know there's a lot of people that focus almost purely on the PvP and combat aspect of it. I'm garbage at the combat. And I don't like space game combat anyways, right? Like, space combat, it's really the big reason I went into custom mode on No Man's Sky. I hate dealing with that. I just want to be the space trucker, right? Want to be the explorer and maybe haul some goods every now and then. But, you know, the option is there, which is kind of nice. This is probably the closest thing that I've experienced to when I used to play Freelancer way back in high school. Like, it just gives me that vibe, right? And I guess a little bit of Eve. There we go. Oh wait, that's right. This is not a fuel star. My bad. I almost killed myself jumping into the sun. As would be tradition. There we go. But yeah, I guess it's kind of like Eve, but like, I played Eve for maybe 2 weeks before I got sick of tie-dye, right? And we were having fun. I was in Goon Swarm, and we were fighting against Reddit at the time, Test. But like, all of the big space battles, it was just like, I do an action, and then I gotta wait 5 minutes for the action to actually process on the servers. It just wasn't very fun. Thankfully, this game, the space combat is at least kind of fun. And more importantly, it's not just a slideshow while it waits for the servers to actually catch up, right? Alright, I didn't see. How many do we have? Just 2? Alright, so we'll just sit around here. I think my favorite thing with the DBX is the heat shielding. I've really enjoyed that I can get this close and just kind of sit here at, you know, 150 to 170 fuel scoop and not really have to worry all that much. Like, I very, very rarely go above 65%. It's pretty nice. And I guess I could get a little bit closer and see if the scoop goes a little bit faster. I don't know if it does or not. I don't want to risk it. But I don't mind this. It's only a couple of minutes. It's cool. But yeah, as I was saying, or a little bit earlier, you know, this was just kind of a guerrilla stream. I might hop back in every now and then, which will be kind of fun. I can see myself exploring. I'd like to stream the Colonia trip if I get the opportunity. But we'll be back, you know, a little bit later on tomorrow, probably with I haven't decided if we're going to do more FF7 or finish Liza P. It can really go either way. Really need to do both. it's such a weird schedule this week. Working every other day. And I've been up until like 6 o'clock in the morning every day, so that's, well, that's just life, I guess. That's just how things roll. But yeah, needless to say, it's been a very weird week. And then this weekend, of course, the big stream is going to be our live watch along of Final Fantasy XIV Tokyo Fan Fest, at least the keynote, and get all of that final information. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, that is probably the biggest streams that we have here on this channel are those watch-alongs. So, you know, it's always good to get back into FF14 content. I know I haven't done it a whole lot lately just because I've mostly just been chilling, playing other games, doing a little RP every now and then. But yeah, FanFest is something we can't miss. I just have to double check the times on it, and that should be go. I'm very curious how things will be revealed. I have a lot of hopes. All right, what are we at here? So we're far enough out. We can definitely start looking at this point to double check the systems, and we just kind of breeze through the others. I did notice that a lot of them were kind of empty systems, which is a bit of a surprise. Usually I at least get a lot of like icy bodies or something, but man, the last few systems had nothing. Absolutely nothing. We got the one system with a bunch of heavy metals, and that was really about it. Which, speaking of, obviously for the streams, we have this license-free music, so thank you to our musicians out on YouTube who are making 12 hours of synthwave for us streamers, right? But I do have a personal playlist for when I'm playing this game off stream. I need more song ideas for a Space Truckin' playlist. Right now it's like half of the heavy metal soundtrack, a little bit of Motley Crue. It's basically a bunch of dad rock that I really like, but I need more. I need more Space Truckin' songs. As much as I like Steppenwolf, they are not something necessarily to build the foundation of an entire playlist. You basically have Born to Be Wild and then Magic Carpet Ride, and after that you're kind of out of luck, right? All right. So if anyone has some songs that maybe I have missed over the years, I am absolutely all for a Space Truckin' playlist, and who knows, maybe a couple of the songs might end up on one of our guitar streams. That will just kind of play it by ear. I do want to learn Kickstart My Heart, my Motley Crue. I feel like I tried playing at one point and it's actually kind of tricky. But yeah, we haven't done one of those in a while. Could be another nice little addition this weekend. Yeah. Main thing is that I'm in the middle of learning a couple songs and still learning a little bit of Ableton to hopefully make, you know, our first OG original song. So that's kind of been taking up a lot of my time, but it's not really something I can do on stream. So yeah, you know, I've got a couple things that I'm working on that might change it up, so I'm not just playing Master of Puppets every stream, right? It'll still be a lot of Metallica. That's just kind of a given. But it'll be nice to switch it up, at least get a few new songs in there. All right. I think that's just about it. No, there's still more. There's still more. All icy bodies, man. Where's all my metallics? I see one there. Maybe they're around whatever the giant is. Okay. On. Well, at the very least, you know, the thing with FSS scanning is like, yeah, it's kind of annoying to just get a bunch of rocky bodies and stuff, Like when you've got 30 in a system, I mean, that's like 30K. Like you don't want to sleep on that. Yeah, I mean, that's 30K free credits. If you're trying to find the good stuff anyways, you might as well go ahead and scan everything else that's around it. Okay, there we go. Now we're fine. Let's see here. I'm guessing it's going to be behind the sun, which is going to be really annoying. Oh, there we go. That's why I was zoomed too far out. Okay. All right, where are you? There we go. All right, and a lot of these have not been mapped. A lot of them have been scanned. A lot of them mapped. Interesting. Let's take a look, see if we got anything good. See if we got anything terraformable here. I'm not super confident. Had a lot of these that have just nothing but high metal content planets, but no terraformables. You can still make some decent money if like you're really hurting. But for me, it's just not worth like flying out there to scan it, right? Yeah, now we're all on the ices. I don't think with these suns we're gonna have a whole lot here. It's terraformable, but it never hurts to check. That's fine. All right. At least we scanned it. We made a little bit of money. Good enough. Here we go. But yeah, it has been a lot of fun learning Ableton. It's very tedious. It's a lot like I like doing video editing and stuff. That's why I made this channel, right? But it's tedious in a lot of the same ways. Like once you get it down, you can really kind of speed your way through it. But then you got to do a lot of copy pasting, moving things around. You know, a lot of the maintenance stuff that's not related to the actual music itself. So, you know, it's just time consuming. I like doing it, but yeah, it's not exactly something that's great stream material in my opinion. Maybe if you're Devin Townsend and have basically automated your entire existence around it, right? But not so much when you're just, you know, a small-time VTuber just hanging out, trying to fly through space. And I don't want to reveal the riffs ahead of time, right? That's not good. Okay. Anything here? 3 bodies? Okay, well... I see body 2. Oh, it's a high metal content. We'll take a look, see if it's easy to find. I'm not gonna say no to money. Mapped by some guy. Okay. Some of the names are okay, not even terraformable. We'll scoop it up a bit. Let's see how much we can actually push this thing. I think I've gotten up to 175 before, and that was about as high as I went before I kind of started getting a little scared. Yeah, it doesn't the heat maintenance on this thing is great. I love it. You know, if I can push this thing up to 175 each run, I mean, that's an additional almost 50 compared to what I've been scooping at. So yeah, that might not be a bad idea. A little bit faster. Okay. So we've only made, what, 7 or 8 jumps? So yeah, it's gonna be a long trip. That's why I'm here with you guys, just kind of hang out. If I wasn't doing this, I would just have Netflix on in the background, right? I still need to finish See You in My 19th Life. I really like it. I still I'm still kind of laughing at how quickly it became a crime drama out of nowhere, but you know, what can you do? The only real annoyance that I have with this game is that, like, I can definitely watch Netflix, but, like, you know, watching my K-dramas with this, I obviously have to have the subtitles, and, like, everything here takes just long enough that I can watch it, but it's just distracting enough that I still have to pause, or else I'm gonna miss stuff because of the subtitles. Like, I still need to be able to pay attention to Netflix to watch those. The time I can really just kind of sit back and watch is if I gotta go, you know, 200 KLs out or something. The same thing if I'm like trying to read my Sailor Moon mangas that I just bought. Like, it's very difficult. Just because, like, the game is just distracting enough to keep me from it. I'll be able to finish like a page, maybe 2 pages, and then I gotta pull my attention back here. Yeah. Yeah, 2 stars. Okay. Interesting that I haven't run across any interesting stars yet. Usually by now I've at least come across, like, just through the auto route, come across at least like 1 A star or 1 B star or something like that. I mean, that's really how I found the thumbnail picture, right? The twin white stars. That was pretty cool. I really did not expect to jump into that. That was pretty neat. But yeah, we haven't run into anything cool yet. That's very surprising. Okay, and this is just another dwarf star. It's not gonna have anything but ices. Yeah. Man, nothing here really seems to have a whole lot in terms of bodies. That's also a surprise. Usually I'm just swarmed with at least the ices by now. But nothing, we're getting nothing. That's alright. Once we get to the pin loot system or whatever it is, that system was pretty cool. That and the black ook system or whatever it's called, it's kind of right beside it. Sector. I found a lot of good stuff out there. It was a pretty cool sector to explore. I really had a good time with it. And that's why I'm making my way back out there. I think if we spend just a little bit more time exploring, I think we'll come across some pretty special stuff. We just got to get there first. Okay, how many we got here? Okay, that's more like it. That's more like it. That's what I like to see. All right. So the star is going to block a fair amount of our view, and that's fine. We'll be okay. Let's go ahead and get in here and start scanning. At least see what we've got. Man, it's just ices, but you know, got nothing else to do while we're scooping. Yeah, so I'm guessing, yeah, we got the giant. There we go. And there we go. Ice. Fine, that's cool. Can make it through quick. Giant, yep. Hey, what do you got around you? Anything? Ice. Yeah. How far out is this thing? There we go. Rocky ice. Okay. Slightly different ice. Yeah. Not gonna scan the whole system. I'll exit out once we've finished scooping. Might as well get your money from it, right? I'm not gonna turn away a free paycheck. Get out of this star. And scooping up at 176 with the grade A scoop here. and only getting 66% heat. And I love this ship. I really do. It's so good. It's such a good little hopper. And it's got a cool name. Like, that was ultimately what made me choose between my explorers, right? Like, you have this and you have the Asp Explorer, I think, right? I was like, nah, Diamondback sounds cooler. That's the one we're going with. And it looks cooler. I'm not a big fan of the weird discs. The weird Klingon looking things. Alright. Out of here. 27, alright. Anything good? Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Let's get in here. Let's see what we got. I'm sure it's all been explored, but whether or not it's mapped, who knows? Takes some work to get, yeah. Here we go. Right. So these have been discovered, but does not look like it has been entirely mapped yet. We'll see. We'll see if we get lucky here. Hope so. I could use something to give me at least a little bit of money. Oh. That's what's really got me worried about the Anaconda. Like, I'm so close to buying the Anaconda. Like, once you start getting into the outfit costs, like, you're basically buying 2 Anacondas by the time you've actually got the thing retrofit, right? So, yeah. I need every little chunk of 500k or whatever that I can. There we go. Ah, it's been mapped. Of course, they came in and skipped everything else and only mapped the water world. Go figure. Well, it's still money. We're still gonna do it because that's still a fair amount of change. But yeah, that's disappointing. It's cool. Who knows? Maybe since they skipped all of the metallic stuff, maybe we can get a little lucky here and find a terraformable that they pass by in their haste. The big bucks, right? Alright, but hey, at least we found a water world. And that's still, I think, 500k or something like that, even if it's been explored. So, like, it's nothing to sneeze at, by any means. Now, I do find water worlds significantly more often than I do ammonia. I think out of all of my travels, I've only found maybe 3 or 4 ammonia worlds total. And I've been hopping around for close to about 30k light years total since I started the game. I've only been playing the game for essentially 4 days, right? I bought it on Steam sale. So I feel like I've made good progress in those 4 days. Okay. Yeah, nothing. Here we go. Any other terraformables? Okay. And then we get to the water worlds. That's fine. These will be too far out. I have enough heat. But yeah, they skipped a skipped a terraformable. I mean, why would I not this opportunity? All right. Well, you know, not quite as good as getting the water world to myself, but better than nothing. Get my name on that discovery queue. There we go. And it's not too far out. That's kind of nice. So far, all of the planets that we found for mapping have been fairly close. It's really annoying when you get the ones that are 100, 150k out. Some even further than that. I think the furthest I've traveled for any star or any planet was like 278 or something. It's kind of ridiculous. That was definitely get up, start making food, travel time. Like even with the autopilot going max speed as fast as it could, it was still about a 15-minute trip just to get to that one planet. Like when they say this is a full-on space sim, there you go. When they say this is a full-on space sim, like they're not kidding. Like the travel distances, the speed. No, it was just it was a planet that I found out and about on my last trip out in this direction. It was way out there, but it was a planet that had not. I think it was a water world. Can't entirely remember, but I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm not getting the money, right? But yeah. All right, let's see here. So 7 probes. I think we will be able to do it. Yeah. Let's get on the horizon here, a little bit past the horizon. Can fit one more probe. I'd be too far out. Worried about all this stuff around the edge. Yeah. I'm trying to get to my station, my base station, where we launched from. That's not an easy trip. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, well. Still get my name on it, I guess. Yeah, getting to my base station. It's a fair amount. Brzezinski or whatever it is, station. Like that one's kind of far out from the star. I might try finding another one in safe space. It was just a good launching point. It's like it kind of juts out from the bubble a little bit, but it's still technically part of the bubble. So it felt like a good launching pad to get out into deep space. Yeah, the base itself is not an easy jaunt. It's a good. I'd say it's a good 4 or 5 minutes out from the star. Alright, well this is a larger planet, so we'll make our way out just a little bit and head out over to the water world. Shame it's not terraformable, but that's fine. And there we go. Hey, there we go, only 280 Ls. Nice. Yeah, I really want to hopefully come across, like, the money is important. Like, I want to scan as much cool stuff as I can and try and get those funds up. Like, I see people that, you know, are coming back from long time voyages and they're turning in like 1.8 billion or something like that. But I also, you know, I just hope we find some cool systems. You know, a couple neutron stars or something like that. Even if it's just, you know, basic twin suns or something along those lines. I really need to learn how to land this ship. Like, I do autopilot on everything because I'm not very good. But I would like to learn how to land on a couple of these planets, if they're landable. And maybe try getting some screenshots that way if I find something particularly interesting. I guess I can do the SRV. I haven't really done a whole lot with it. I don't have a bay for it or anything like that. Too much weight. I went as light as I could and still be able to scan everything that I need. That might be kind of fun. Might be something a little bit different. I'm always in the search for good thumbnails. It's just the nature of being on YouTube. Got to be on the lookout in every game. Okay. Now, will you be a big planet, or can I get you in 5 probes? Come on. Make this easy on me so we can move along. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought. When I said at the start of the stream that You know, you're looking at 110 jumps round trip. That's straight there, straight back. You know, that's a good... It's probably at least a good 4 hours. Once you include scanning and all of that stuff, like, it adds up, right? Usually I say just baseline a minute per system. It's you know, typical exploration time. So 110 jumps, you know, you do the math, about 2 hours. But then you gotta include your loading times and all of that good stuff. Wow, is like really in a bad spot. It is on the absolute opposite side here. It's honestly, the loading time is probably the longest when it comes to adding to it. Just charging, warping, etc. Fuel scooping is definitely part of it. But I mean, there's ways you can speed that up a little bit if you really want. Alright, let's... Alright, go forth. And right there. And right there. Finish up this last 8%. You can do it. I know you can. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I still have a lot of issues with really large planets. Like, there have been a couple that needed like 9 probes. I definitely went way over my efficiency bonus on that. But like the 6 and 7 planets, I can usually get those. I feel like I'm getting good. There we go. I'm learning all of the things that a good explorer needs to learn. Alright, we got another fuel star in the next one. That's good. Unfortunately, this isn't a landable planet, so I gotta be careful here. If it's landable, I don't mind hitting an orbital cruise in the process, but there you go. I'd rather not damage my ship more than I already have by accident. Now, I have seen some screenshots of people like warping into a system and it's like a black hole right there is like the primary star. And that seems super scary. Apparently they're harmless, you just gotta, you know, make sure and power down and angle yourself away from them. Yeah. But, yeah, that just seems super scary, loading into that. Map the big ones, like big planets, gas giants and stuff. Like, I've got the price sheet up. Basically anything that I can make at least 500k on, I've been scanning, like actually doing a planetary scan for it. But it's basically anything terraformable. And then in terms of non-terraformable, it's really just water worlds and ammonia worlds. I don't even know if water worlds are 500k, but it's close enough to be worth it to me. Yeah. Like, the size of the planet does affect the price. You know, if you have 2 water worlds, the higher mass one is always worth more, which is really nice. So I don't mind, like, having to do a 9 probe planet or something like that. I'm just not very good at aiming my probes for those. A lot of gaps. A lot of gaps. Oh. Okay. So far, though, I've not succumbed to space madness, which is definitely a thing, right? You know, you're alone out in the empty void. Okay. Gas giants, a lot of ice, and a couple asteroid clusters. Hell, I mean, it's a lot of planets, though. That's like 50k bucks just for the ices. Gas will be worth a little bit more. Not a lot, but a little bit. We'll scan a few as well. Bigger radius on my scan probes. Now that might be nice. I didn't know that they had a scan probe engineer. And that might be worth getting if it's depending on what the grind looks like. Like I said, I really hate engineer grinds because it's so different from the type of content that I like doing in the game, but I mean, if it does eventually help me, it might not be a bad idea. Yeah, I think we'll move on from this system. Go. Okay, so 176 is the limit. Like, that is as high as I can get with this fuel scoop. Good to know, good to know. But yeah, probe scanning engineer sounds pretty good. I've heard there's other engineers in Colonia, which I thought was really cool. Like, you look at power play, it does not have a bubble around it. It's not part of a bubble. Apparently, like, the devs added a ton of stuff there. So it's like a bubble that's not technically a bubble. I don't know what kind of engineers are out there, but that sounds kind of neat. Sounds like it might be kind of fun. Alright, so Preah Yuk, this sector we're in, this one I feel like is kind of the borderline. I was mentioning earlier about how you kind of have that wall for the newbies and the advanced explorers. I feel like Preah Yuk over on the east side is kind of that wall. Because if I remember right, last time I was traveling through it on my other path, this had a lot of like dwarf stars and stuff, so you start having to like manually map a few areas of it. It's definitely not as bad as the western side of things, but it's enough that if you're not confident in exploring, you're probably just going to stop and turn back at that point. We're getting out there. We're making our way. Yeah. All right, so we're, yeah, about a third of the way there. Which, all things considered, I feel like we're making pretty good time on it. Scanned a couple systems. That's what took most of the time. Just getting there. Getting those systems and scanning them. But yeah, I'm just very curious about this side of the galaxy. Like, I know that big-time explorers, right? The people who are really into exploring, there's really nowhere they have not been in terms of sectors, and I saw that there have been a few expeditions like to map entire sectors. It's kind of cool. I'd like to join one of those one day. I'm sure there's not too many actively going on at this point, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Cool to be a part of. But yeah, I mean, there's just these like mid-range sectors not too far out from the bubble that just kind of get skipped over because everyone's moving on to the deep space stuff. They want to go to the edge of the galaxy. They don't want to mess around too much here in the middling areas. I saw that, you know, out of the entire map, only 0.05% of the entire galaxy has actually been mapped at this point, despite the game being, what, 10 years old or something, and with exploration being such a momentous part of it. So yeah, there's, even this close to the bubble, a lot of places you can go out and check. Even with me streaming this and like scanning everything that I'm coming across, like, I'm sure if you're a new player, like watching these streams, you're like, by the time I actually get in, there's not going to be a whole lot going on, right? Like, it'll all be there. But like, what you're not seeing are the 50 stars around this star that I'm not touching along this route, right? Like, everyone's got a different route. Everyone's got different priorities on what they're looking for. Some people just straight up skip certain types of stars. You know, they might only filter in for A, F, and B stars. Maybe they just want the cool screenshots, right? So yeah, there's a wealth of opportunity, even just a few light jumps out, right? So take advantage of it. Have fun. Go out and explore. I do wish there were more stations and stuff out and about. Not even necessarily like NPC stations, I would have thought that a lot of the player squadrons out there would have been popping stations like all over the place, right? That's how it was in Eve. You basically couldn't go to a star system without having some player system somewhere nearby. I really have not seen all that many like freighters or anything like that out here. Now, to be completely fair, right now, I am not in open. Usually I play in open, but, you know, past couple sessions I've just kind of skipped it. So that could also be part of it, but even when I was playing open and exploring, you know, pretty popular corridors out on the western side of the bubble, I really didn't see a whole lot. Your fleet carriers scattered around, yeah. You know, I've heard that if I do make the trip to Colonia, like, you'll see a lot more, because that's a main interstellar, like, travel corridor, which I think is really neat. So, yeah, hopefully I'll run into a lot more out and about when I start making that trip. That's still, you know, that's still a couple weeks off. I want to get my funds up, have some fun around this part of the galaxy. You know, I think eventually, if I stick with the game, you know, it's very hard as a VTuber and a variety streamer to really stick with one game too long. It's basically FF14 is always my home base. But, you know, if I do stick with this long enough, even if I'm not streaming it, you know, I'd like to go out and check stuff like the Void, or maybe make the pilgrimage up to Beagle Point, or something like that. You know, I think that would be a lot of fun. And I'm sure I might see a lot more along those popular pathways. I do wish the devs were still putting in, like, cool stuff that players find. Like, I don't know how active they are with the community. Like, No Man's Sky, when I play No Man's Sky, like, those devs are great. Like, they definitely take part in the community. They love, you know, trying to incorporate the community in different aspects. I don't know how big Frontier is on that kind of stuff. I know that early game, players would find really cool stuff, and then the devs would go in and put a travel beacon there for, like, passenger tourist missions, which I thought was really cool. Or like Beagle Point. I think Beagle Point was named after... Yeah, it was named after the player that found it, right? Yeah, the only new content is playing the Thargoid War. Yeah, which I know nothing about. I've never run into Thargoids. I hear they don't really bother you all that much unless you're carrying, like Thargoid materials or mollusks or whatever it is, in your cargo hold. Like, they might interdict you and scan you, but I hear they don't really attack if you're just kind of minding your own business. So maybe that's why I haven't really run into them. I've heard they're really kind of creepy. So who knows? Maybe one day. Yeah, since I don't really do a whole lot of the combat stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of stuff is cool with the devs. Like, oh hey, this player found this really crazy system and posted it on Reddit, and everyone was talking about it. Let's make it a tourist destination for some of the missions, right? So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if they still do that. I wish that they did. Just from the chatter, like I said, I've only been playing this effectively for less than a week, so I only get a little bit of chatter from Reddit and that kind of thing. But just from what I've been able to tell, they don't really do that kind of thing anymore. I was reading a post the other day that I thought sounded really cool, where, you know, you have these touristy destinations that you take on missions, but wouldn't it be cool if some of these destinations, players could submit them and make their own travel company taking other passengers? Like, I think that would be a really cool mission type or a new squadron new squadron content. So like, you know, go on player-made tourist destinations. Like, how cool would that be? Like, someone else found this really cool system out there. Let me get in a dolphin and you know, sell some touristy vacations, right? That would be really cool. And it would also give another little bit for me to do while I'm exploring. Like, it's cool getting the screenshots and scanning systems and that kind of thing. But I can't really do a whole lot other than maybe bookmark this system once I found it, right? Like, it'd be nice if I could do something else with, you know, twin stars. Like, I saw a screenshot of someone that found 2 twin neutron stars right next to each other, and they got a really cool screenshot of their ship. Just kind of like envelope between them, right? Like, that kind of thing is great. Let other players take other players there and make a little bit of money doing it. All right, so we found a couple metallics. I'm not super confident, but we'll see. Maybe they'll have, yeah. We got here, ice world, yeah. No luck. All right, it was only like, what, two metallics? That's fine. Sometimes I slow down a little bit through the star, scoop this way. Take my time, but still travel. Remember, got a mission to take a tourist to one of those locations. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the tourist missions sound pretty cool. I don't have a passenger cabin, but I feel like I would really like it. But I haven't even unlocked Soul yet. Like, apparently I need to become a petty officer for the Federation or something. Like, buddy, I don't know what the politics of this place are like. I'm just jumping around some stars, man. You guys fight it out between you. I'm just doing my thing. Yeah. It sounds like there are a lot of cool tourist destinations, though. Like, the big one that I want to visit is the Collection of Wonders along the route to Colonia. Like, I saw a couple screenshots of it, and it just looks absolutely wild. So yeah, that's like a must-see place. But, you know, even going into the system that I found by accident over here, like out in this direction that had the 3 black holes, like, it's got a tourist beacon. It's not the best place because black holes, like, they're kind of far away from the tourist beacon, so it's not like you can really see all 3 of them at the same time. But it's still, like, interesting that it exists. And you can fly to the black holes if you wanted to, I guess. There's nothing stopping you. Alright, what do we got here? Ah, here we go. Metal content. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. If they're not hidden. There we go. Monkey D. Luffy. I've seen a few systems scanned by him over the years. Very appropriate name, but you're also visiting all of the same systems. Please go somewhere else, Monkey. I've got my own things I want to do. And it looks like they probably scanned the only terraformable here, but yeah, we'll keep an eye out just in case. It's still money. All right. What do we got in our system map? Okay. Polar Wolf. Yeah, Kanesh. Yeah, he's already scanned it. Probably, yeah, just the one. Man, not a very big band there. I thought maybe that next one would also count, but no luck. All right. How far out are we? It's not too bad. It's doable. But yeah, you know, I've just been seeing chatter on Reddit that, like, you know, some people think the game only has a couple more years left in it. But I mean, and the game is 10 years old, right? So, I mean, it's been out a while, but even coming into it just now as a brand new player, it feels like there's still so much cool stuff that could be done with this game. if they decided to. I'm really genuinely surprised it's not bigger than it is. Like, I only really heard about it because of No Man's Sky. Like, people are always comparing space sims, and I like them both just for very different reasons. Like, No Man's Sky for me is about finding the cool planets and cool looking ships, less about the space stuff. You know, No Man's Sky, the planetary stuff and landing is the cool part. But the actual traveling between systems is kind of like whatever, right? Here is exactly the opposite. I couldn't care less about landing on the planets, but I want to know what kind of systems are out there. I want to know what kind of cool stuff exists. How can I make money finding like rare stuff? And I'm sure with Odyssey being a thing, which I'm just playing Horizons, like I don't have Odyssey. But, you know, if I do find a cool Earth-like, then, you know, scan it in, and then someone else can go land on it. They'll have that opportunity then. It's been discovered. Yeah, people have been predicting. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gamer thing, isn't it? We're nothing if not doomsayers. Probably even more so when it comes to space sims, just because there are so few really good space sims out there. You got this... You got No Man's Sky. I was kind of looking at Everspace 2, but I feel like I think it's probably more of like a story-based game and less like a free roam, just chill out and explore the galaxy kind of thing. And you know, I'm sure Hello Games will keep, even with Odyssey. Wow, that's kind of surprising. Like, I have to imagine they're going to add some kind of content for that eventually. Like, you can't have an Earth-like planet that's not landable. Like, what's the point then? Right? There we go. Yeah, but yeah, there's really not a whole lot of options out there. Yeah, I guess if you really wanted, you go to play Star Citizen, but I don't know why anyone would want to do that. The biggest grift of all time. I was looking the other day at some meme threads talking about it. I saw a ship that cost 45,000 real life dollars. What? What? No thanks. I'll stick with No Man's Sky. I'll stick with my cool ProcGen Sentinel ships. Those are cool enough. Yeah, you know, it's tough out there for space sims. I don't know if people just don't think that it's an interesting enough genre, like they don't think there's a demand for it. But like, I feel like, oh, I don't know why I'm scanning the sun. Wrong button. But like, the people who are into sims, it doesn't matter if it's flight sim or this is a space sim, like there's gonna be an interest for it. Car sims, yeah, there's plenty of opportunity. But you know, as long as Frontier is still making their money, I guess. Oh yeah, this is not a fuel star. Gotta be careful. There you go. Man, as long as they're making money off of it, I hope they keep adding to it, because there's still, I feel like, a lot of potential for what this game could do. Even if they don't do a whole lot with the landable stuff, which I heard Odyssey is not very good, right? I mean, I've heard like some of the diehards really like it, and it's not as bad as people make it sound on Steam. Which, I mean, to be fair, it is Steam reviews. They only go so far, right? But I don't know if maybe that has kind of made them a little more hesitant to do like big time content upgrades or another expansion or whatnot. But like, I feel like just even without landing and stuff, there's so much potential just on the space aspect of it. Okay. Sitting pretty at 63 to 65-ish. Let's see. I don't think we're going to go up any more than that. It's definitely not going to hit 90, so we can go ahead and start scanning. I'll get a little bit of money while I'm waiting. What else we got here? Anything? No. Yeah. Let's see, but I still have more fun in my spaceship than on the ground. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, that's kind of... Now, that would be No Man's Sky to me. Like, that would be my game to go hop around and run around on foot. A little Minecraft spaceport building. I've got my little frontier base for fellow travelers on a perfect world. There we go. Like, I don't know, like most of the screenshots and what I've seen from the actual planetary walking stuff here, I mean, it's okay, I guess. But yeah, it's nothing to write home about. Like, I don't know if maybe there's more to it that, like, you can build spaceports on a planet and stuff. I feel like that would add a lot to it. Like, that would kind of make it worth it. Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, I've had a lot of fun with this. I think the only weak part to me, like just in the types of content that I play, because that's the only thing that I really can compare it to. Like, I don't know about the PvP or space combat and all of that. But for me personally, I do wish there was a little more ship variety. Because glam is life, right? So yeah, having cool ships to fly is very important. And there's a good variety here, don't get me wrong. It's a fair amount of ships. I feel like they could stand a few more. You know, if you're doing exploration, you can pretty much do it in any ship if you rig it right. Like, it'd be nice to have another, like, specific exploration ship. But one of my favorite things in No Man's Sky are the proc-gen ships. Like, you got the Sentinels, you got the living ships, and then you got the pirate ships, right? And all of those are proc-gen. So you spend a lot of time just searching different worlds and save scumming, trying to find the perfect one for you, because they all look a little bit different. And that's really cool to me. Like, it'd be nice if they had some kind of element to that. It's not really quite that kind of game. I don't know if a proc-gen ship would work here, but I definitely feel the need for some new glams, right? I feel that in my bones. Also, the fact that just painting my ship costs money, that's kind of silly. That I'm not a fan of. Like, it's ship paint. You're charging me for decals, right? So we got a lot of... So these have been discovered. Let's see if any have been scanned. Play dolphins as an explorer. Yeah, like I really like the cruise liners. They look really cool. And I've actually thought about maybe getting one. Just for the fun of it. But I gotta get the Anaconda first. The Anaconda is a cool looking ship. It might drive like a brick, I don't know. We'll see when I get it. But it looks really cool. I mean, like I said, that was also the main reason I chose the DBX over the Asp. Is because it looked better to me. It looked more like something that I would fly. Okay. It runs so cool I could charge my FSD and fuel at the same time. Yeah, I do like those a lot though. I might seriously consider getting one of the cruise liners. I don't know what I'd have to do to outfit it, because like it'd basically be a cruise liner that's not taking passengers. I don't know how that's gonna work, but they do look really cool. Yeah. Hey, there we go. And first time chance. Ooh, we've got a few here. So we got 2 terraformables. Nice, nice. So that's yeah, ended up being a little bit of a lucky system. Now, whether or not the next system has a fuel star, I don't know. I don't think we'll need it. 404? All right, well, we're in it for the long haul, guys. This is gonna be a good 15 minutes just getting here. Oh, I think this is officially broken the record for my furthest out. I might just need to jump drive it, right? I might need to. This is so far out. I cannot believe how far out this is. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I mean, I'll speed up eventually. This thing tops out at 220 Cs, but even then, that's still a journey, friends. All right, well, anyone got any memes? See any good movies lately? Oh, but yeah. Like I said, essentially, I just want more cool looking stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at a ship. Was 130k, yeah. I mean, I've had a few that have hit pretty close to this, but I think this is definitely the longest at this point. Just to get to a planet, and I'm very surprised that this is considered terraformable. That's so far away. Like, did I miss that it was next to a different sun? It's gotta be. Like, there's no way it's getting heat this far out. Yeah. Ow. Alright. 25 jumps out from Phylix. Alright. Well, let's take a look. See how we're doing in the old codex. There you go. So far. Oh yeah, then I gotta, even if I get the Anaconda, I need to make sure I can afford the rebuy. You know the motto. Don't fly if no rebuy. That's the motto. And usually with good reason. But yeah, so I've only played about 2 days. I mean, I've been pulling long days on it. Basically, I've been doing nothing but this on my days off, so. You know. So not too many systems, but I feel like I've made a fair amount of money from those systems once I figured out how it actually works. Yeah. Only four deaths so far. Not too bad. There we go. Spent on fuel. Doesn't tell me how much money I've spent on fines for failing missions by accident. That wasn't very fun. Okay. Let's take a look at, I've mostly stayed here. You know, I attempted to go out to Temple just to see what was out there. And yeah, it was still a little bit too far out for me to be comfortable. I really just wanted to make some money. But I hit that patch with nothing but dwarf stars along the way. So it was a little tricky. But that's for the future. And then up here is Colonia. That'll be a fun trip, and it's a decent trip up to Sagittarius A, which that's another big touristy thing that I got to do at some point. I've heard it's really cool. Like if you're an explorer or you're a space tourist, like you've got to go to Sagittarius at some point. Like it's basically a given. But there's a lot along the way. Kind of curious about Odin's Hold, but yeah, you look here and you see how many more stars there are. I've heard if you want to go out here to like Achilles Halo or the Void, like it's pretty sparse. Basically, there's a lot of stuff you cannot do out there without having a fully retrofitted Anaconda. Like no other normal ships can actually make those jumps because there's just so few stars out there. They're so spread out. Yeah, it might be kind of fun at some point though. Let's go see what's out there. But yeah, I got a few other things though. Yeah, I've mostly been heading out in this direction though. I don't know in particular why. It just seemed like whenever I was looking at map trails from other previous explorers that have come out, they all were going in this direction, right? You had a big push up here, going up to Colonia, or trying to make their way around up here to Beagle Point, where they're going south because they're doing PvE stuff, and I guess down here is where a lot of the Thargoids are, from what I understand. I could be wrong. So there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on out here. That might have changed. I feel like those maps were a couple of years old whenever I saw them. You know, Reddit will pull up stuff from 7 years ago, so you gotta look at the dates. But I didn't recall seeing a whole lot out in this direction. I don't know, maybe Tenebrae might be kind of cool. Zabala seems like it might be kind of sparse for a little DBX, and it could be full of Thargoids, I don't know. If they even bother you if you're an explorer, but I don't mind going to the sparse reaches out there. See some cool sights. Maybe they've got some cool stuff hidden out there. Maybe there's more black holes. Or 2 black holes, you know, smushing a neutron star in the middle. About ready to make a new big black hole. I don't know. Possibilities are endless. I feel like I've been doing all right, though. All things considered. Yeah. You're looking at the stats here on my discoveries for how many systems I've actually been to and scanned. I think I've gotten kind of lucky overall. We're looking at 43 total discoveries out of 184 systems. About, what, 0.5%? Not great, but, you know, when you're talking about 400,000 or 400 million stars out there, I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good rate of return overall. And this better be worth it for getting first discovery. This is a long trip. Probably not the most time efficient thing. I'm sure someone is going to watch this on the VOD. And I go, actually, you should have just skipped to the next system because the metal body terraform is not worth the amount you would have gotten from 2 other systems and all of this other stuff. I don't play with spreadsheets. I've never played games really caring about efficiency, right? You want efficiency, you're looking at the wrong VTuber. But I would at least like it to not take enough time for me to actually cook a meal almost. Ugh. Come to think of it. Yeah, but what if it is really cool? That's the thing, you don't know. You won't know until you get out there. That's the heart of the explorer, man. Gotta have that curiosity. You have the heart of an explorer hero. You're one of us. Even if that's not how you play the game, it's in your heart. Alright. Well, I am actually going to take like a 5-10 minute break while we're doing this cruise control. I need to get some more water, take a bio break. It's been over an hour and I try getting up and standing up every hour or so. So, you know, do your stretches, make sure you are getting some water, take that break that you need to take. And we'll be back here in a second. Ugh. back. We are slowing our ascent. Slowly but surely. You just stretch. Get your water. Get something to drink. Get something to eat. Do some squats. Do whatever you gotta do. Been trying to make sure to follow the rule of 20s. I think it's 20s if I remember right. It's like every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds, right? And just to help your eyes stay focused, so you're not just staring at the screen and the blue light all day, right? I do try and follow that. Look out my window for a little bit. Just try and stay focused on something other than the screen for, you know, for about half a minute or so. Keep your eyes adjusted. That's always a good thing to do during your breaks. Or even if you've just been watching Netflix or something like that for a little bit. Just, just go look at your closet or look outside a window for a moment. Get adjusted. But we are getting there. Slowly but surely. We've started slowing down. The ship goes much faster than I thought. All right, and thank you Ricardo for the sub. I appreciate it. We do a little bit of everything here. Right now it's Elite Dangerous. Tomorrow it'll be Final Fantasy. This weekend it'll be FF14, and then who knows what'll happen next week. Maybe I might even hop back into the finals and do a little fighting. I really like the finals, but I'm waiting for another update. Just to see if they balance a couple of things a little bit better. But yeah, it definitely scratches the FPS itch in a way that really not a whole lot of other games have. But I would like them to adjust the aim assist, because it is pretty bad if you're on keyboard and mouse. Having other people doing, you know, instant 180s, not even really having to press their joystick. It's a little too strong. They need to adjust it. But yeah, it's a good game to just hop in and stream for a little bit. I'm really surprised that I don't see it being streamed as often as it is. Because it is a lot of fun if you're into arena shooters. But yeah, you know, this might go in the rotation every now and then. I'd like to play in some actual trips once I'm a little more confident that I'm not going to lose everything if I blow up because I don't have the money, right? I feel like once I get to about 400 million, I'll feel better, right? Like, I feel at that point you've made enough money that you're not really going to lose it. Like, even if you buy and fully outfit an Anaconda, you're still going to have a lot of money left over. And then it just kind of steamrolls from there. It's like that in any MMO, right? Like, you kind of hit that break point where money is no longer an issue. And no matter how much money you start spending, there's just not enough, you know, money sinks in the game to keep up. So I feel like 400 million is a good amount to aim for. So we're about a fourth of the way there. Little over a fourth. Right. Man, I can't believe this was 404,000 L's out. Never seen another planetary body that required that much travel. That's a little ridiculous. But, you know, that's what you get for playing a space sim, right? It's a hyper-realistic space sim. Yeah, I don't know why. I've just been on a sci-fi kick. Sometimes I'm on the whole isekai kick. You know, I want a big fantasy world and this cute slice of life anime with wizards just growing a garden or whatever. And then sometimes I just get on sci-fi kicks, and I'm currently on the sci-fi kick. You know, I watched Interstellar the other night for the very first time. It was very surprising because I love Chris Nolan. I really don't know why it took me this long to actually watch it. But yeah, I highly enjoyed it. I'm probably the one person in the world that might actually enjoy Rebel Moon, just because my bar is so low for good sci-fi that as long as it's got cool ships in it, I'll probably like it, right? Hey, give me some cool ships. Give me that old Zack Snyder slow motion combat, and I'll be eating good. Oh, oh, almost there. You got this Median's call, and we still have another planet after this to go scan too. That's what I'm worried about. I'm hoping they're both. Looks like they're both close together. I'm guessing those other 3 dots are the other destinations. Yeah, we've been at this almost 2 hours. We're still only halfway to the destination. So I'll be honest with y'all, we're probably not gonna stream the return flight. But you know, about the journey, right? That's what it's all about. The money will be whatever the money ends up being. But as long as we can get out here and faff about and maybe explore some cool systems, then that's the fun part. I might just do the return trip on my own tomorrow. Yeah, how is everyone doing tonight, by the way? It's, you know, middle of the week. You're almost there. You're over the hump day. It's a fairly quiet day here, yeah. Short shift at work. It's one of those days where, like, I don't know, man. I just didn't sleep all that well. I slept so much. Like, I slept after work yesterday. We only slept about 5 hours. Woke up, got a little bit of work done for like 4 hours, and then went back to sleep for another 8. But yeah, I mean, you guys have those nights where, like, even though you sleep a lot, it's just not a very good sleep. Like, you just kept being woken up for just a few brief seconds at a time, but it's just enough to take you out of that REM, and it just kind of messes up your whole rhythm. So even after sleeping for like 12, 13 hours in the course of basically a day, I still woke up tired. It was just kind of a rough day until I got to work and was able to kind of force myself to focus on other things to keep me awake for a little bit. It didn't help, but like right as I was kind of coming out of my sleeps, before I could fall back in, our tornado siren went off. We don't have to worry about them usually this time of year, but they do the test once a month. So that was loud. There was no going back to sleep after that thing started going off. I like our tornado sirens. They're cool sounding. Makes me think that I actually live in an interesting area. But no. Today it was just a test. The only purpose it served was to keep me from getting back to sleep before work. Alright. So yeah, got a lot I gotta get done today. You know, I never heard back from that artist that I asked about commissioning for my first ever custom model. So I gotta get in and do that. Let's try and find some more artists. See if anyone else can do it within my budget. I was really hoping, because I really like this artist. She could handle male models really well. The issue that I'm finding is a lot of the artists that I like, they can do male models, or either like just starting out as artists, but they are charging like professional prices for it, even though it's kind of DeviantArt level, it's kind of stuff. Which, I mean, hey, I mean, you know, if they're getting money and they're getting their practice in, I guess that's all that matters. Like, everyone's got to start somewhere, right? But for me, I need something a little bit better than that. I mean, this is a really good model for a free one. It's got to at least hit this bar, which you see me hopping around, right? If it doesn't at least look like this, then, you know, it's a no-go. And then the other side of the male VTuber commissioning wall is that all of the other artists that can do male VTubers are really expensive, right? Like all of the ones that really know what they're doing. I mean, you're talking $1,200 for some of those. It's like, I can't do that. I make minimum wage. I cannot afford that. So I've gotta just ask around and try and find that sweet spot. And who knows? You know, I filled out the Google form. She's got the email. She could still just be coming back from vacation or something. Maybe she's in school or something like that. I don't know. Neat. Kind of cool looking. But yeah, it was a little sad not hearing back from them yet. I'm still holding out hope because they were definitely within my budget and definitely I feel like probably could have charged more than that, what they were charging, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it at this point. The other difficult part that I've noticed is that I'll find a really good artist and their prices are really reasonable. But then whenever I actually start doing some research, like looking at their page or, you know, trying to find a card or something like that, it turns out that they're a studio employing a bunch of different artists or something like that. And it's like, that's kind of sketch to begin with. And yeah, I'd rather know that if I'm going to be commissioning a custom model, that the money is going to like the actual artist, right? Like a lot of these studios popping up are kind of sketch. And you can usually tell because they don't have all that many pictures in their portfolio, especially if it's on their website. Like their website should have, you know, quite a few pictures, right? But yeah, if they just started an account in the big Discords, they've only got one or two pictures up in their portfolio. I've noticed it's really an issue if you're on like vgen.co or I don't know, maybe I think it's Etsy, whichever one the big selling site is that actually lists the country of origin. If they're from Indonesia, it's usually kind of a red flag, which I mean, there's a lot of great Indonesian artists out there, don't get me wrong. But it seems like a lot of the studios that are really kind of pumping this stuff out at low cost, that's just what I've seen. I think I've seen a couple from the Philippines that were also like that too. It's like they're using the name of an individual artist. So you think you're buying from one person, but you know, just a little bit of digging shows they're a studio. So you really gotta do your research out there. It's tough. It's tough out there. But you know, work is progressing. Hopefully, you know, the first of many resolutions for this year will be sooner than later at this point. I asked one of my former co-workers if she wanted to do my reference sheet. She's actually going back to school for animation, which is really cool. But she's just starting back out. Like she's a little rusty. She's like, you know, I'm not confident enough to really do the reference sheet and character design for you, but you know, good luck. That was a little disappointing. I was hoping to at least, you know, help pay someone that I actually know and like. But unfortunately, you know, the small town Midwest, we don't have a ton of really great anime artists out there, let alone people that do it digitally and also even know what a VTuber is. So it's basically the narrowest of the narrow here in my local area. But, you know, maybe I'll luck out. Like for someone that I know personally, like it's really just the design and reference sheet. It does not have to be hyper detailed. I mean, more detail is always good, but I'm not asking them to actually make the model and rigging. Making a VTuber model, you gotta ask someone that's actually made a VTuber model before. Well, there's a lot of stuff you gotta break down on it. It's pretty complicated. I am excited though. I really want to get in there and start learning how to rig in Live 2D. That should be enough. Seems like a smaller planet. I'm really surprised these weren't scanned, but I'm not going to complain. It was a long trip. But, you know, first scan rights, 2 terraformable high metal content bodies. Yeah, We're making some money now. There we go. All right, so we finally made it. We're finally free of this system. Let's get out of here, guys. Gotta go all the way around the planet. That's okay. Yeah, how long did we spend in this one? It's just this one system took what, 20 minutes? Oh. And it really was not even worth it. Well, I won't say that. I always like meme about the metal content bodies and how common they are. But I'll be honest, all of the systems that I've been making like 5+ million on so far have mostly been metal content systems. No earthlights, no ammonia. It's just a bunch of heavy metal content. And like 3 or 4 of them are terraformable. And they just rack up one after the other. So, you know, this, if nothing else, this could end up being the big system of the of the whole journey. I'm really surprised at how many of these like 2 and 3 body systems we've been running into. We've had so many that have really just had nothing in them at all. Hey, what do I got here? Other metal content. Like, if this one has already been scanned, I probably am not going to deal with it. But we'll take a look. Okay, naturally it's behind the sun. That's fine. Be that way. Keep your secrets. Okay. Supre Uke. That's where we're at now. Been an interesting sector. Ran into some problems last time I was here with the brown dwarfs, and now we have just insanely long distances between planets. So yeah, this is definitely like the wall system for this this part of the game. Let's get far enough out. Then see if I can rescan. Here we go. See if we're far enough out to find this thing. Okay. Oh wow, it was like way out there in the middle of nowhere. It's already been scanned too. Worth it. It's even terraformable. It's the only planet in the system. Okay. Let's go. Let's make up for lost time. I mean, overall, if it wasn't for the 400 KL's journey, we'd be making good time. I mean, a little over halfway there already. If it wasn't for that break and doing the intro stuff, I mean, we would have been there already in an hour and a half. We really could have just hopped around. Okay, what do we got out here? Okay, a little more reasonable. Only 9. That also means that we can scan all of them pretty quickly and at least get that 90K or whatever it ends up being. If it's under 10, there's really no reason not to just go ahead and scan them all just in case. And that's money on the table you're leaving behind. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it when it's, you know, 30+ ice body systems. That's just not worth it. Yeah, if it's got a metal content, metal body somewhere in there. We got here. High metal body, yeah. That's it. Nothing good. Let's scoop for a second. Slow down and make our way through. Now I'm maxed out. All right. Heat shielding. I mean, if the passenger vessels are even better than this when it comes to heat shielding, that's impressive. Like I really, unless I just accidentally like moved my mouse too much and deactivated Super Cruise Assist, like I really have not had any heating issues whatsoever. Yeah, I would probably be fine activating my warp drive here. I'm not going to. I'm not going to risk it, but I could, is what I'm saying. All right. Yeah, I've heard, like you were saying earlier, that this can make up to 60 Ls, or 60 light years per jump, and I'm really wondering what kind of loadout I need for that. How much weight I can drop and still be okay. I would guess a lot of it is going to come from the grade 3 booster, engineering booster, and maybe from dropping my rank of shield generator is probably what I'm thinking. Either shield generator or power generator. I feel like I'm not using those as much as what the grade that I have says I can do with it. Like, I would probably be fine dropping those a rank and not have to worry too much. It's the one, okay. There we go. What do we got? Anything good? Metal content, okay. High metal content. And nothing else. Got it. Not terraformable, not gonna worry about it. We've got places to be. Right. Just by dropping weight, it's engineer, yeah. I kind of figured the grade 3 is probably a pretty significant jump. I really should get on that. And I don't want to go mine phosphorus. Ugh. Things are gonna attack me, and it's just really annoying. It's fine. I'll do it eventually. I know I will. So I'm nothing if not a completionist. $17 bodies, all right. And that as we scoop. I don't really need more than 120k. There you go. We got anything good? Oh. I'm guessing it's been found before, but I'm not gonna give up hope. That's all right. We're still gonna go check it out. We're still gonna go look. It's just a little rough that it's already been mapped. Special places. I mean, all I need is phosphorus and chemical processors. It's really not hard. It's just I hate it when pirates attack me. Like, I'm not outfitted for combat. It just annoys me trying to find my exit route, or whatever you want to call it. It's just very annoying. Like, it's not the possibility of dying. Like, I don't mind dying in games. I just hate really annoying things in games. Having to transport all of that stuff to Felicity is just, it's gonna be a pain in the butt. There you go. Especially because I've got to put in a bigger cargo hold to even fit all of that at once. Because, you know, you gotta not just get one or two. You gotta press the button a few times to actually get the full upgrade on it. So you need probably 3 processors, 3 phosphorus. And it's really disappointing that was already discovered. I was hopeful. But, you know, the last time I went out into the void, I did find and discover an Earth-like planet of my own, so I can't complain all that much. I've been fortunate enough. Engineering mats don't take up. Phosphorus doesn't. The grade 3 drive that I need needs phosphorus and chemical processors, I thought. Which I thought the phosphorus at least took up mining space, or took up cargo space for the mining. I mean, I could be wrong on that. I mean, if it doesn't take up cargo space, then by all means, yeah, let's do it. Alright, off we go. I don't know if they scanned the metal bodies. Right, okay, so this is pretty close overall. In high-grade engineering materials. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of different kind of engineering stuff that you need. Like, I thought... Because, like, obviously I don't do combat. So to get my chemical processors, I went out and found some emissions, right? And just cargo scooped them up. Thought I put them in my hold. But maybe they didn't. Maybe I just made that up. Let me take a look. Huh. I guess they don't. Interesting. So I guess phosphorus won't either? But do I still need to collect a bunch of phosphorus? Like, do I have to make that that line go up until it's at 100%, and then I get one bullet of it essentially? That's what annoys me about mining, is I have to mine so much of it because it doesn't just give you water. You have to basically get water particles until you've collected enough that it makes one water. It's so much mining. Yeah, phosphorus doesn't take up cargo space, and you know what? I will go do that eventually. Maybe not on stream, I'll just do that on my own. Yeah, if I can do that and make my way to Felicity. Like, I can definitely escape pirates. Like, that's not a problem. I'm pretty tanky at this point. There we go. And I'm getting pretty good at hitting that escape velocity. That's good. Oh no, each one of that line is one phosphorus. Mining and engineering are different systems. Oh, that's good to know. Like, all I knew is that I had to mine the phosphorus from what it was telling me. I guess that's different than mining water, because it's a different system, I guess. So that's good to know. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. That kind of changes everything. It changes my whole perspective. And it means I'll be able to keep my limpets in. I'll have to constantly sell them and everything. Okay, well, let's go check out this Earth world. Sucks that it was already discovered, but that's fine. It's still a good amount of money. Get away from there. Oh. There we go. And still pretty close. Now this system is making up for the last one. None of those long journeys. Alright, well. Now I gotta get some stuff planned. Now the other issue is, if I do get an anaconda, I'm gonna have to do all of it again. Yeah, if I knew that it didn't take up cargo space, I would have been getting some of those emissions while I was making my way out here into the black. Let's do it on the way. It's not like getting to the emissions is very hard most of the time. You just have to hope that they have chemical processors, but it seems like it's a fairly decent drop chance. And there's some other stuff that I think I can get from emissions that are used on other parts of the drive, which might be kind of nice. Now, do you do experimental modules? Because I don't really know what if I press the experimental button, if it does anything. I've just been doing straight upgrades just to not risk it, just play it safe. But if it's worth doing the experimental branches, then, you know, I might not be opposed to doing that. Trade your materials for other ones at a material trader. Ah, interesting. Man, there's so much to this game. So many systems. So many different interlocking systems. It's weird that, like, I guess I don't mind having a bunch of take an extra bonus. Oh man. Yeah, I should have done that then. It's fine. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that, like, I don't mind a lot of systems in this game because I can kind of choose what to engage with and what not to. But, like, I quit playing Dragonflight because WoW was basically a bunch of systems now, and it no longer felt like a living world. Like, anytime I logged into Dragonflight, it felt like, oh boy, time to go check out the new zones. Oh, here's a pop-up that says, you know, if I keep walking, then I can collect 5 walking boots and unlock walking 2. Right? Like, it's like a whole bunch of needless systems. Like, some games it's fine and some it's not. I don't mind the systems as much here, but in other games it's usually an issue for me. Let me just go out and explore, you know? Like, it's kind of similar though. Like, even though this has a lot of systems and stuff on it, it's not like I have to engage them. Like, I've been having plenty of fun without doing a whole lot of the engineering stuff. It's just the option is there if I want to make my life slightly easier, but it's not like I have to do it to really succeed at the game and do what I want to do, which is nice. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. Now let's take a look here and see, was the planet behind our Earth like also terraformable? It does not look like it. Okay. Good to know. Oh, that one's actually had footfall. Interesting. Any others terraforming candidates? Doesn't look like it. Oh, Waterworld. I forgot the Waterworld. We gotta go check those out. This system has been thoroughly explored, to say the least. But I mean, even with the exploration already being done, you know, I don't get the discovery, but this will still be a fairly high value system overall. I'm not gonna complain too much. I wonder what the extra bonuses for the FSD are. I mean, it's not like this drive cost a lot, and I don't know if you can, like, go back and add experimental stuff after you've already leveled it up. Because if I can, then that just makes it easier. But like, if I have to buy another 5A drive, it's not a big deal. I've got more than enough money at this point to go do it. Well, this won't take too long. 7K, 8K. It's taking so long to speed up after leaving that planet. Right. Nice. So I just need to get the materials, huh? Good to know. Very, very good to know. Thank you. Thank you for the help. I appreciate that. Right. Yeah, this really was a lucky system. But, you know, there's still more out there. With any luck, we'll find some more out there with our own discoveries that were not found by Master Chief Hun, whatever the name was. Yeah, some of the names in this are kind of interesting. Saw one dude's name was your name. Like things like that. I mean, mine is a very RP name. Guia Olench, the character of my books. The Sky Captain. Sky Captain archaeologist, right? But I almost feel like I'm tryharding a little too much, just from what I've seen of other games. I've not seen an XX Sephiroth 66XX yet, though. It's a little disappointing. Like there has to be one in every game that has names, right? Like it's just a law. Either an XX Sephiroth or a Driz Duerden with like 3 Z's because they can't use the normal Driz due to name filters, right? Like they're two old reliables that you can safely assume are out there somewhere in the void in any game. Would be the first. I've seen a lot ever since Overwatch came out. I guess Reaper. We can include that as like the third of the trifecta of the edgelord names for Steam users. You know, you got the Gen X's, your Driz. Us millennials are the Sephiroths. And I guess Gen Z's got all of the Reapers out there. And together they form the triad of Grimlords. The edgiest of Grimlords of any MMO. I wonder what the next one will be. What is Gen Alpha's Grimlord going to be? What property awaits us? Will unleash a new wave of Hot Topic faring teens. I'm way too old for that at this point. In high school, maybe. In high school, we did have our own forum, our own BSS web forum for our high school. It was like underground. It actually got banned from the school library. It was super punk because it was like totally made by the students with no moderation or anything. It's our place to chill and talk and shit talk the students and shit talk each other and the teachers and all this other stuff. And my name on there was Desolation Angel because I was really into Magic the Gathering and I really liked the art of the card at the time because I had one. I was like, yeah, this is how I'm gonna be known to my high school peers, is Desolation Angel. And naturally I was the kid with bowling shirts. They had to be bowling shirts with like barbed wire and flames running up the side. Right. Yeah. Right. PG is fun. I can't remember. It's been years. It destroyed a bunch of lands or something like that. Like it was a legendary card. It was pretty powerful. But I can't remember. You can probably look it up. Yeah, I haven't played Magic in years. My brother is really into it. He's mythic in MTG Arena. And just watching him play on his Twitch streams and stuff, it's like there's so many abilities and stuff out there nowadays that I don't even know what they do. I think that was just about it for this. I think we have discovered all there is to be discovered. So let's get out of here. Let's go forth. The last time I bought any cards was actually just recently. I used a gift card to buy some Lorcana, Disney's card game. I think I talked about this last stream, but if you didn't watch the VOD, Yeah, I bought some Lorcana because everyone was buying them. Like, I work at a bookstore that sells them. And, like, we had to put a limit on how many packs people could buy this stuff because it's Disney and it's a card game. And obviously the collectors are like, wanting to make some money. Right? And so they finally printed enough of a run that we keep them in stock. We got rid of our purchase limit. I used part of this gift card just to, like, buy a few packs of, like, I'm going to see what this is all about. I heard the art was pretty cool. I don't know really a whole lot about Disney, but maybe I'll get Rapunzel because she's my favorite. And I pulled a $100 genie card, so that was pretty cool. I gotta put that on eBay here soon. But yeah, that was worth it. Yeah, for a card game that I will never play and probably never buy any more packs of. I can't complain. It was worth it. Outside of that, I do occasionally buy, like, Weiss Schwarz, because I do like their Hololive cards. I don't play the game, but I do like collecting the cards. I mean, obviously, as a VTuber, I stan, right? But yeah, I do like the Weiss Schwarz cards. The art is very good. I'm still hoping to get that Polka signed card one day. A man can dream. But yeah, if I end up buying another booster box of those, then, you know, that'll probably be another live unboxing hand cam stream. Be kind of fun. We haven't done one of those in a while. I'd like to do more hand cam stuff. It's just very, very tricky. Oh, wrong button. It's very tricky. Like, typically a VTuber is supposed to use their phone. I don't have an iPhone, so I'm just using my webcam. So I can't really use it for two things at once. So it's either you can have my VTuber model or you can have my hands. That's really about it. But I mean, it would be worth it for some of the guitar streams, so you can actually see what I'm doing. 'Cause, you know, I do talk a little bit about my technique and that kind of stuff when we do those streams, but it doesn't really translate if you can't see, like, what my hands are actually doing at the time. And there we go. Big, chunky boy here. 21, nice, nice. All right, let's scoop up a bit. Yeah, just a little bit, not a ton. Don't necessarily need a full drive for this. Running a little hotter than normal. That's okay. All right, so what do we got here? Ooh. We've got potential here. This is a land of possibility, it looks like. Just have to float around and see if anything comes up, huh? Here we go. Might have to move a little bit. It might be underneath. Guessing this is the giant. Oh, okay. Asteroid belt close? Yeah, asteroid clusters? No. Man. Oh, what's going on with this system? There we go. There we go. Much better. Okay. There we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Not mapped yet. Hey, we did it. Now, will we get really lucky? And will it be a terraformable? That might be pushing it, but yeah, one can hope. We won't know until we get there, huh? Oh. Any others? Yeah. Right? I think that's about it for here. There we go, yeah. Move on up. Get rid of these asteroids. I like the asteroid clusters because they do it all at once. Find one in that wavelength and they're all taken care of. Makes it easy. Okay. What are you? Water giant? Okay. Doesn't help me as much for scanning, but So we got the water. Oh. Guessing the other one's behind the sun. Yeah. Not a huge deal if we don't get it immediately. So let's take a look. Get mapped. High metal content. Okay. Metal content. Oh. Ooh, we've got quite a few here in a row. Yeah, so the water world looks like it's not terraformable. That's okay. I think we've still got more than enough just from these two here. Plus the water world, yeah. First discovery. Bad, guys, not bad. This is what the trip's all about, isn't it? You know, it's we might not even make it to the destination that I had set on the stream, but we found enough. I'm really not super concerned about that. Like, we're doing pretty good overall. If I can get a good, I don't know, good 30 million out of this trip, I'll consider that a win. I'd obviously like more, but I feel like I'm probably not going to get that much unless I'm like spending a few days out in space, right? Like, I'd like to be one of those guys that returns home after a week away and turns in 1.8 billion of discovery data, right? That's a lot of time out here. That's a lot of time. I'm just not patient enough for that. That's my problem. You'd think this game about space and traveling between different distant stars would teach you a little bit about patience. It has not. If anything, it's only made some of my anxieties worse. But, you know, that's two in a row. Two in a row that we found some first mapping. Not first discoveries, but some first mapping. No, first discovery, I've only had that happen very, very rarely. I mean, very rarely. Even for like icy systems, I don't think I've run across too many cases where I was first discovery. And even then, it's usually because, yeah, it was an icy system and people just skipped right by it. And so, you know, I got into the FSS and just did the quick scan, right? Just get my credit for it. But you know, that's a little bit. I mean, to be completely fair, it's not like it's like that much, right? Like, you get the discovery bonus, which is good on the individual planets. Like, whenever I load up the first discovery bonus, on a lot of cases, like, it's like 70k, 80k, something like that. Like, you've really got to find, like, first discovery of an Earth world for it to really be worth it. Otherwise, I mean, just scanning it is going to get you a pretty good amount of credits as it is. Okay, so this should be enough. 7 is always kind of tricky for me. A little harder than 6. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Okay, well, that was a waste of a probe. That's fine. Ended up being fine on it. Alright, which one's next? We got you? Yes, you. To persist and orbit and get away from its orbital cruise line here. There we go. Right. I think I'm far enough out. At least to get the assist control on. There we go. There. Cool. There. But yeah, like I was saying, I hope everyone's having a good first Wednesday of the year. You know, it's nice to be done with the holidays. Like, the holidays for me are not a joyous time, to be honest. It's work. The joys of retail, right? And even in a bookstore, like, because it's very corporate, like, you still feel the busyness of it all and being understaffed and all that. So it's just a lot of busy stuff. So I'm kind of happy to be done with the holidays. Work felt much closer to normal now, and that was nice. It's nice having a night where I was actually able to get stuff done during my shift, instead of just standing at the register repeating the same thing to every customer. But now the downside is that we've got like 3 months of nothing, 3 months of absolute nothing but hold. Yeah, being understaffed, I mean, it really sucks. And I mean, unfortunately, it's just kind of the retail standard now. Like, I haven't worked a retail job in probably close to a decade that wasn't like slowly shifting towards understaffing, like bit by bit, until it gets to the point there's only like 2 people in a store that covers, 50,000 square feet, right? Like, it's pretty awful right now. Do not recommend. That's why I'm doing the VTuber thing a little bit more, is, sorry about that. Bump. Yeah, just trying to grow the channel and hopefully shift more towards this and away from retail. Like, it's not like my bar is very high when I'm working minimum wage. It's pretty easy to make that pretty much anywhere except YouTube somehow. So that's the goal, is to make minimum wage at the very least through YouTube, and then I can just leave retail and do this, right? But yeah, like I was saying, it's like, now that the holidays are done, it's nice and chill again, but it's also chill as in my apartment and my room is freezing. These are like, the next 3 months are probably my least favorite months of the year. I'm not looking forward to it. Like, I've got my big kerosene heater. Unfortunately, I'm just like burning through that already. Usually I can hold off until at least like late January, but no such luck this year. It's been cold. But the cool thing is, I think it's April, we've got the solar eclipse coming our way. And the area that I live in is like right there. Like, we're basically at max peak for the total eclipse coming up this year. So that's going to be exciting. We were in a pretty good spot. We were about an hour off of max peak last time. So I'm hoping we can do it again, because the last time it was a pretty big deal. It was a big event. Everyone coming to visit the area and having a good time. There we go. That's the one that I want. Okay, 64, so we're still a ways out. Wait. Activate Super Cruise Assist. Where are you? There we go. There we go. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Our local college, everyone was just laying in the university football stadium, just on the grass, just looking up with our glasses. So yeah, we're pretty excited about it. I'm sure we're gonna have like a lot of stuff. The only thing that I'm worried about is, I think it is April. And that time of year, it can get really overcast here. I'm gonna be so mad if we're in like the perfect spot for this eclipse and it ends up being like rainy that day, which April, May-ish, it's definitely a possibility. That's basically the start of tornado season here. So, oh boy, we gotta hope for the best. But I am excited about it. If we're gonna be playing a space sim, well, let's talk about the cool space events in real life. Total eclipse is definitely one of them. I don't know. I need to find my sunglasses from the last time. I'm sure I've still got them. I think there's more than we're gonna have more than enough this year. Last year there was like a brief period where they had made so many sunglasses and they still ran out of them because everyone was just giving them away. And you go to your gas station and get your local like Eclipse glasses, which is pretty cool. But yeah, they did run out briefly. So I'm hoping I can get in on that, or maybe find my old pair. Yeah, I don't think I've ever experienced anything quite like it before. Yeah, you need the glasses like leading up to totality, but once totality hits, like you're perfectly fine taking the glasses off and looking. And like it's pretty surreal. Like everything they tell you about total eclipses is true. Like all of the crickets start up because they think it's night. Like literally, like it's just it gets so quiet because everyone's just enjoying it. And then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, just crickets everywhere. And then like as it starts ending, you gotta look down at the shadows of like the light coming through the trees because all the leaves give off crescent shadows. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. All right. So this is still a bit of a journey. Once again, mostly because I've got to get this thing sped up, right? Do the flowers close or is it too fast? I wasn't close enough to see any flowers closing. I'm sure there are certain types of flowers where that is probably true. You know, some flowers do close and open faster than others. So, yeah. Like there's a little bit with the plants that's kind of cool with some of the plants. Like normally plants are always like kind of reaching for the light. But yeah, unfortunately I was not close enough to any flowers to see. But the cricket thing, that was probably the wildest. Like I'd heard all about it, but I didn't really expect it until it actually happened. Like we have a ton of crickets here. Trust me, they live in my walls. I have to kill at least 2 crickets a day in my room. Pretty bad. And at night around here, especially on human nights, like you hear them, but you don't really hear them during the day. Not around here. But yeah, hearing our full cricket ensemble, the rural Midwest, in the middle of the day was kind of freaky. Yeah, but really just the coolest part is just looking at it. Right? Like you can look at totality and it lasts, I think, in our area, this eclipse, assuming we can see it and it's not cloudy, it's supposed to last like 4.5 minutes, which is a really long time for totality during an eclipse. It's pretty wild. But yeah, it's just bizarre looking at it. It really is. Like it really is nighttime. And you can start seeing the stars and stuff around it, but you're just looking at this black hole in the sky. And then you start thinking about just how cool it is that like everything lines up perfectly. Like our moon is just the right size to cover the sun at just the right size. Like they're essentially the same size from our viewing distance. And the moon is just the right amount of distance away from the Earth that it all works out. Like space is cool, man. It's just really cool. You don't really start thinking about it until you experience it, but you look at the thing and you're like, wow, this moon at our viewing distance really is just like the perfect coin-shaped slot for the sun. How quirky is that? But yeah, with our luck, it'll be tornado season and we'll just get a storm. I was looking at like the best places, top 5 places to view the eclipse. And like our area wasn't listed. And I was like, what are you talking about? This area's like perfect for it. We're like at peak totality for most of it. Then I realized like the time of year that it's happening, like, oh, that's probably why. Yeah, last time like the area that was peak was, like I said, about an hour out. They had like a big concert or something like that. I think Ozzy played. Like, you know, he has Bark at the Moon, right? It was a big deal. Hey, it was a full-on concert, like just in the middle of this farm. Be one of the weirdest things Ozzy's ever done. That says a lot when you're talking about Ozzy, right? I think he played. If I remember right, he did. That was before he hurt his back. You know, he said he's probably never going to be able to tour again. He at least wants to do some one-off shows. It's a little sad that he had to cancel out a power trip. Just wasn't feeling up for it even for those 2 nights. I'm digging this license-free chill out volume of 12 hours. I feel like it's been pretty fitting. I wanted to do some, like, I don't know why so many like space-themed things really ask for classical music. It's probably because of 2001 Space Odyssey, right? Like, I feel like that kind of set the tone for what kind of stuff you're supposed to listen to in space. It is hard to find license-free classical music. You know, the music itself is public domain. Like, Beethoven's been dead for a few hundred years. You're okay. But the actual performances of them are not. So, like, unless you want some dude synthesizing the orchestra in Ableton, it's kind of hard to find, like, a full orchestra doing it. And doing a lot of these big tracks. Like, I'd love to be able to just listen to, you know, Dvorak or something like that. Listen to New World Symphony. But I don't think the Prague Philharmonic is going to be okay with me putting their track in the background. But yeah, I do need more for my space trucking playlist. Now I've got some Joan Jett. Got obviously Steppenwolf. I've got Sweet, little Ballroom Blitz on there. And then, yeah, most of the other half is just the heavy metal soundtrack, because it is such a great movie. If you really want to talk exploring out in the wilds of space, there you go. All right, almost there. So how many jumps are we at? 19. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I'm sure we're gonna have a jump or two that's only one or two bodies. And strangely, the way it's been routing me has been kind of weird, where sometimes I'll have a jump that's only like 9 light years. Maybe it's because of the connecting pathways to the next stop or something. So I have noticed that, like, you can't really just jump to random stars all the time. Sometimes there are specific pathways you have to take. Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I'll get to a jump that, you know, only needs 9 light years. Like, I don't really need to refuel for that. So it's basically a free jump, right? Seems to happen at least once or twice a trip. You know, when we're going 50 jumps out. 50 to 60, which is about my average range. I have not gone out past 61. 61 jumps is my limit so far. I wouldn't mind breaking it. But, you know, this is already pretty long for one of my streams, so I don't know if we'll really keep going all that far out once we get there. Oh wow, this is a big boy. It's not a bad thing though. Mass affects pay. So let's take advantage of it, shall we? Well, a cool looking water world. That's a really cool eclipse. Okay. The shadows around it. It does very much look like the kind of thing you'd see on like the game cover, right? Alright, so which way is it rotating here? Okay, so I can probably do just past the horizon there. This is the one I'm kind of worried about, though. Like, I'd like to get all of this. I don't know if I can hit it. We can give it a shot. Oh, yeah, bullseye. Bullseye on that one. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, we're going to give it a shot. Might mess up my efficiency bonus, but, you know, YOLO. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Too much mass. There's just a very odd-sized planet. It's like too small to do 8 probes, but just large enough that that it's hard to meet the efficiency bonus on it. That's all right. I still get credit on it. That's all that matters. That's where the real money comes from. Right. Let's make our way forward into the back into the black. Let's do it. But yeah, you know, so far I have not succumbed to space madness, which I guess a game like this is probably the best simulation humanity will ever like truly get. Being this far out in space. I mean, yeah, the astronauts on the space station have to worry about it to a certain point. Yeah, I've heard of people just kind of going a little crazy, just even playing this game for extended sessions, right? Just out in the middle of nowhere, all by yourself. Not really anyone to talk to, unless you're turning yourself into anime like me. I feel like I would do okay. Like, I feel like most of my days, like I'm already spending most of my days in a room that's really not much bigger than a spaceship to begin with. And I'll go sometimes, if it wasn't for work, like in the times when I wasn't working, I would go a couple of weeks where the only people I would really talk to were the people taking my order at the fast food joints, right? Like, I'd probably be all right as long as I got something to watch and maybe some books to read, some games to play, keep me occupied, and I don't really get all that lonely, I guess. That's just been the majority of my life at this point. Looking down the barrel of my 30s, I feel like that's going to be the rest of my life. So I might as well get used to it. How would the anime about me, the space explorer, go? To be completely honest, it would basically be a slice of life that would probably be very boring. I feel like I'm not a very action-oriented space gamer. There's other games that I play that's action-oriented, but for me, just exploring, like, I don't know, I don't really do a whole lot. I feel like something where I'm just going out and exploring a cool planet, right? Hey, thanks, Silva. I appreciate it. You know, going out and exploring a cool planet, right? And maybe something kind of similar to Star Trek, to be completely honest. You know, where the whole point is the exploration, and I might find a planet with a cool civilization, and we become friends, and maybe I spend a few episodes learning about their culture and helping them with a task. And then at the end, you know, we get back in our ship and go back in search of another. Like, that would basically be it, right? Yeah, very, very Star Trek-y. I feel like. Star Trek, if you even took out the Borg. Talking like TOS here, right? TOS, first 4 seasons of Next Gen. I mean, really most of Next Gen. Just, you know, take out the Borg. That would probably be it. The problem, I was thinking about this the other night. It's like, Star Trek is like known as like the sci-fi of sci-fis, right? It's the definition of like hard sci-fi and kind of the aspiration of everyone. But I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know what? It's not really hard sci-fi, is it? Like, yeah, they mentioned technical stuff, and you got O'Brien doing his thing. But if it was hard sci-fi, like the first time that they ever go to Warp 7, basically they've ended Starfleet, right? Because every time they go into Warp, like time is staying still for them, but like Starfleet's gone, man. Like by the time they exit out of Warp, Earth has passed by another few hundred, centuries probably, maybe even more. Like those captains he was talking to about their mission, they're dead, man. they're long gone. I feel like maybe that might even be something they had brought up in the show at some point. Like they definitely did some time shenanigans over the course of TNG. Like if it was truly hard sci-fi, yeah, you got to go full Interstellar with it. It's not exactly a happy ending on it. But, I'm fine with them bending the laws of physics a little bit to give us good stories. That's fine. I'm cool with it. Where did this go? There we go. Yeah, I don't know why that popped into my head the other night, but I was just like, man, Picard is ancient, right? With how many years he spent in warp. They already talk about him in the Picard series being like 120 or something like that. Like humanity is able to be old, way older than we are used to. It's like 120, 150-ish or something by the end of the Picard show. But I mean, if you're including the theory of relativity in that, like the dude is like thousands of years old, going by human time. I think that's one thing that I did like about Interstellar a lot, is that it really played with that idea, probably more than I think I've really seen any other sci-fi movies play with it. Just the ideas of time. But that very Nolan-esque. Kind of did the same thing with Inception and Dreams. Inception. But yeah, I don't think right now with my current loadout, I can do between 41, I think the largest I've done is 49 with this loadout. The average is about 44, somewhere around there. Yeah, it's a little Diamondback Explorer, 5A jump drive, 5A frame shift. I think might be 4A, whatever the max is for my loadout. I think it's a 5A. Only up to grade 2 on the engineering boost. But Not the Hero has helped me out quite a bit with some information that I didn't realize. I will be hopefully moving up to a grade 3 boost at some point. Where am I now? I am just off to the east of the bubble. Just kind of exploring. Like, I don't have a set destination. We're just out here kind of taking our time. We are aiming for the Phylux sector. And then, I might faff about out there a little bit. Just see if there's anything kind of cool to see. Maybe explore a couple A or B class stars. See if maybe we can run into, a black hole or something like that. But outside of that, like, there's no real destination. It's not like I'm jumping through the Colonia pathway or anything like that, the highway. Yeah, here, once we get out, I can kind of show you. I mean, I'm in solo mode right now, so I don't have anyone out there that can come join me. But yeah, I'll probably put it back into open for future streams. So yeah, there is where I am at. I'm about, at this point, about 40 jumps out from the bubble. Which honestly is not that far. I mean, we've done this in 3 hours, and at least half an hour of that was just traveling to one planet for some odd reason. That's just the nature of exploration, I guess. You get that 400 KL planet eventually. Yeah. Yeah, and then I've got the highest grade fuel scoop that I can get for this Diamondback. And yeah, we just kind of skim the surface a little bit. Even that little bit of scoop helps out. Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun. Something a little different from my normal streams. Yeah, I'll be back with some more Final Fantasy and Liza P later this week. But I just kind of wanted to hop in here and explore a little bit after work. Figured, you know, if I'm going to be jumping all of these light years, I might as well enjoy it with some people in chat. So, you know, thanks for coming along for the ride, coming out into the black with me, giving this commander a welcoming crew, giving me an excuse to try voice meters, voice mods that I don't really play around with enough. All right, so we got finally found an interesting star. I'm really surprised that this is really the first white star that we've come across out of all of this time. Usually, like the last time that I made this trip out in this direction, slightly different path, but I came across a lot more white stars on that trip, and I don't really know why. We really have not come across anything super unique. I was really hoping to find, you know, some cool systems. Yeah, it's been pretty bog standard stuff. I mean, good money once we get back. I mean, once you include the return trip, that'll be, you know, a couple dozen million more. But nothing unique in terms of like neutron stars or anything like that. Yeah, I guess maybe I just need to open up the map and look for those specifically, and at least hit those up on the way. Luthuka. Tua. Kind of a cool name. See what's out here. Basically, I point myself in a direction, and I go out to a sector that has a cool name. That's really my process. My process for exploring. If only 0.05% of the galaxy has been explored so far, like really, you can point yourself in any direction and find something, right? Problem is because it's too much the same. Yeah, and I definitely get that. You know, it's kind of the same way in No Man's Sky. You know, you spend several hours and you know, don't really see a whole lot that's unique. Like, this is probably, what, the 5th or 6th system in a row now that didn't even have any bodies in it, like no planets. It's just suns. But then you hit that one unique one, and it kind of makes it all worth it. Either it's a system where it's an Earth-like that you were the first person to make the discovery on it, and you get that bag, or it's a system that's just completely unique and looks, you know, 2 neutron stars right next to each other, twin suns, that kind of thing. That's kind of what it's all about. Like, I don't mind the repetition. I mean, I normally play MMOs. I've killed several 100,000 bears for their asses over the years. Like, this is really nothing. But you do always go out and hope to find that one unique one. But the cool thing with this game is that, like, just enough of it has been explored that there are some pretty cool systems out there that have been mapped, and there are actual highways to get to them. Once I make the journey to Colonia, I've got a couple of stops along the way that I for sure want to hit, right? The Collection of Wonders is probably the big one. There's one that's got the ringed sun. I don't think that's in the collection of wonders, but there is a ringed sun that is apparently the largest ringed mass that has been discovered so far. And that is also along the highway. So that would be kind of cool. Yeah, you gotta hit up the touristy spots. You gotta make that trip. Yeah, even looking on Twitch, you know, I saw quite a few people that were making their trip to or from Beagle Point, which I think it's pretty cool that Beagle Point is now an exploration hub. Like, people go there on the regular. It's obviously a long journey, but it's something that I feel like any explorer worth their salt wants to make at some point. It's kind of like a pilgrimage. I do want to see Sagittarius at some point. I don't know when. So far, the black holes that I've found, you know, they've all been discovered. They've all been plotted. You can turn off star filters to find them pretty easily. But they're kind of scary. I'll be honest. Like, I know they're harmless even when you're orbiting them. But they're kind of scary. So I'm kind of wondering what Sagittarius is going to be like. But I've heard it is very impressive. Like, you know, you've got the normal black holes are pretty cool. Especially if you're the first one to find one and can get that scan in. That's some money. I think it's a fair amount of money anyways. But yeah, Sagittarius is just much larger. And yeah, that's another kind of pilgrimage for anyone that's been playing this game for, you know, more than a week. Something you just gotta do at some point. But I'd like to add my own. You know, we were talking about this a little bit earlier about how cool it would be if we could make player-made tourism companies, and like you could sell a tourism route or drop your own tourist beacon and create a route out of it. How cool that would be. Like, I want to discover that kind of stuff, right? Good. More ice. So the few systems we have spent some time in so far, like, they've been worth it money-wise. Like, I'm sure we're gonna have a fair amount once we get back, but not a whole lot of them. Like, not even a whole lot in terms of like metal content worlds. I wonder what the deal is. We just kind of had some bad luck going this pathway, I guess. It's yeah, it's just one of those trips. Like, my trip that I took before the stream and back, that was about to the same area, about the same number of jumps, same sector. Just I went lower this time. I went higher on the plane. Yeah, just that trip had a lot of systems and made some good money from it. Yeah, just not a whole lot this time. Just luck of the draw, you know? Right. Now, to be fair, I really have not spent a whole lot of time, like, purposely plotting systems. Like, a lot of those other times, I will go out of my way to, like, purposely plot myself towards, like, A-class stars. B-class, whatever I happen to see in the area that looks kind of cool. And then reroute a pathway from there. So that could be part of it. I'm not really doing a whole lot of rerouting along the way or manual plotting. And really the only time I've done a whole lot of manual plotting is once I reach a destination and just kind of want to explore stuff that looks interesting in the area. Now, obviously manual plot then. And then on the western side of the bubble, when I was exploring out in that region, there's some dangerous areas just outside the bubble over in that direction. Just nothing but dwarf stars as far as the eye can see. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to run out of fuel. So you gotta manual plot your way through some of those walls. And then once you get past those areas, you can make a lot of money because a lot of people hit that wall of dwarf stars and you're just like, okay, I give up. Going back to the bubble. And if you can push through it and do your manual plotting, you know, just past that little area, there's quite a bit of money to be made. Okay, any of these terraformable? Okay, so these have all been mapped too, unfortunately. That's kind of rough. That kind of sucks. Yeah, doesn't look like any of these can be terraformed anyway, so doesn't look like I missed out on too much. But you know, you always want a little bit of money. If you can get it, why pass it up? We'll hop in here for a quick refuel. We'll really push it this time, go up to the max. I'll be fine. I'm not concerned about the heat shielding. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, if you do get tired of the exploration, you could always go and do other stuff. For me, I'm fine doing nothing but exploration. But, you know, for other people, maybe you do need to go and hop into combat. It's nice that the game really has those options. There's really nothing you can't do other than building bases yourselves. Like, I might end up joining a squadron that is pretty well established. We'll see. And, you know, maybe they've got some freighters and stuff out and about. Takes a lot to refuel. Why not an asp or a crate? Partially jump range, mostly looks. I like the Diamondback Explorer. Yeah, with this thing kitted out as much as it is, this does have the largest jump range outside of an Anaconda. Now, I haven't done all of the engineering stuff and retrofitting to unlock a lot of that. But yeah, this is of any of the smaller tier ships, this I think has the largest base jump range. It's pretty nice. But also the heat shielding. Like, I can get really close and not have to worry about accidentally burning. Because I'm very dumb and accidentally press a lot of things wrong. So, knowing me, I would accidentally launch myself into the sun at some point. Okay, man, just not getting anything. But yeah, the Diamondback, definitely the weak point is the fact that it does have a smaller fuel scoop capability. You know, the Anaconda has like rank 7. Like, that thing charges up at like 1500 a tick. It's pretty ridiculous. This, I think, has a max fuel scoop of 4 or 5. I've got it A rated. Yeah, 176 is the max. But it's also a smaller tank. I've only got a 32-ton fuel tank too, so it's not like it's a ton. I usually fuel up just out of safety once I get to about half. You know, I might jump a system or two to see if the next one has a primary fuel star. But I also probably am refueling more than a truly knowing explorer probably does. But yeah, I just like being safe about it. Yeah. Nothing, man. We're just striking out. A lot of it's also because we're just not getting a whole lot of luck with our systems. Normally, I would use fuel scooping as a chance to do my FSS, right? Like do my scanning. But yeah, just the past few times I've had to refuel, we just haven't had anything. Just the luck of this round, just the luck of the draw. Usually it's not this bad. Usually I've at least got something to scan and make some money from it. I'm kind of worried that I'm not actually going to make all that much money from this run. You know, we've had a couple of systems that were really good money makers, and then a whole lot of nothing. I mean nothing. Not even ICs to scan. So, yeah. Here we go. Okay, see, here we go. Anything good? Okay, so we might have some terraforming rules here. And of course asteroids, which are always really easy to deal with. I like asteroids. It takes off a lot of little shiny things all at once when I have them. Alright. Yeah, it seems like people have explored this a little bit more too than the last one. Last one I went south. I mean, we were deep down there. I was almost worried that we were just gonna run out of stars down there. So that could have been part of it too. I feel like this run, a lot more of it has already been scanned and mapped. I don't know why. I feel like we're pretty far north of the plane at this point, but yeah, it's still a lot of stuff has already been scanned. Doesn't really help. Okay. So that should be all of my metal content stuff. I think we're okay at this point. Well, we'll see if I can scan anything else just for the sake of it. There we go. Everything else is going to be icy and stuff. I mean, I am still near the bubble, but I mean, I've still had pretty good luck on the past few runs of mine, being able to find stuff that hasn't been discovered yet. Like I said, I mean, I did a run about to the same sector and about the same distance. I would say most of the stuff that I ended up scanning had not been mapped yet. Like it had been scanned, like Discovery Scanner, but it had not been mapped. This run, I'm finding a lot of stuff where they had actually used the planetary scanner already. That's usually kind of rare with how far, with the areas that I've been looking into. Right, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's going to be rough to find a terraformable here. But, you know, we got the FSS in. I'm not going to complain about that. A little bit of money. Once we actually reach our destination, we can spend a little bit more time, like, targeting certain stars and having a good time that way. Probably refuel a little bit here. All right. So while we are refueling here, I'm gonna take another quick, like 5-minute break or so, just to stand up, stretch. I suggest everyone do the same. Get your water. Do your stare at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds thing. Keep your eyes from burning out. But we'll be back here in just a few minutes. Refueled. Bioed. It is time. We're almost there. 6 jumps out. And probably even do it without getting refueled. And then, yeah, once we get there, we'll take a look and see if there was anything else like interesting in the area. Usually, once I start doing manual plotting, I'm just kind of looking for cool stuff. So it's a lot of A and B stars. Maybe an F if I'm kind of like, maybe I can find like an Earth-like or something like that. If I come across them, that's cool. But like, I'm not really hunting for like specific worlds or anything like that so much as just kind of hoping I come across something kind of unique. Basically just take what the game gives me. I mean, there's 400 million planets or something like that in this game. Like, it's really not hard to find something that's still kind of unknown to most of the other players, right? So it's just a matter of getting out there and just seeing what we find. Yeah, I just really like to find something that looks kind of cool. I feel like I've got a system down enough when it comes to doing the scanning and all of that. Like, I'm making money at a decent enough click. I mean, I've made 130 something million in 4 days of playing, 2 days of actual playtime. And that's not even doing Road to Riches. That's just kind of doing my own thing and exploring the way I want. So I feel like, the money's not the issue. I just really want to find cool stuff to take screenshots of. That's like 90% of the games for me that have a camera mode is like, how can I find cool screenshots? That's what I want. Give me a camera mode and I'm living the life. There we go. That's all of the heavy metals. Let's take a look here. See if we got any that are worth it. And even if they have been discovered, I mean, a lot of these worlds, I mean, it's still a decent paycheck. Nothing too... None of them are terraformable, though. That's rough. That's okay. Yeah, nothing to sneeze at. I mean, you might not get a whole lot from one world, but you start visiting, 200 of those systems of nothing, and it all starts to add up. All right, Blue Thua. Yeah, I think the star that I'm aiming for is a white star. I think it is. I think that's what I clicked on. We're gonna be finding out here in about 4 more jumps. It'll be nice to finally get there and maybe hover around, explore this sector a little bit, maybe go a little bit higher up in the plane, see if there's anything kind of cool waiting for us around there. I don't think I saw any, like you know how you can turn off the filters except for the, like, off-putting stars? And they're like little faded dots on the map. I don't think I saw any out in this direction. So probably not going to run into, any black holes or anything like that. But yeah, you never know. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay. Doesn't look like we got a ton of metal bodies, but yeah, it's a few chances. Oh. What do we got here? Okay, metal. Any terraformables? Doesn't look like it. This one I think is going to be kind of hard to find any terraformables on. Yeah. These are all not mapped and they're all icy. That's fine. Just makes the journey quicker so we can actually get to looking at it on our own. Right, but I almost always, at the very least, plot the last star to at least be a fuel star. So as long as I know that I can make 6 jumps or something, then we can do this last stretch pretty quickly. 4 jumps. Yeah, we'll be like right there on the border, I think. Gonna depend on whether or not we come across any planets I need to travel to. We have officially entered Phylux. That's a name, Phylux. I don't know where they come up with these names. I assume Greek or something. Scientist somewhere. I don't know if anyone can name systems on their own. There you go. We'll scoop here. Just in case, because I'm going to scan anyways. Oh, they're all icy. Well, that answers that. I might as well get my 2 pennies from these guys. Alright. Well, no sense wasting time on them. And off we go. At least we're in the right system now. I usually try picking an area that has, you know, that's kind of surrounded by at least a few other interesting looking stars. We'll see if any of them lead to something. Usually just like pick a spot, like 2 to 3K out, and then just kind of roam there, vaguely trying to make like a small arc back, so at least it at least cuts off maybe one or two jumps on the return journey. Okay. Alright, Phylux, you're striking out on me, man. You gotta give me something. I mean, we have found one Earth-like. You know, it was already previously discovered, but we have at least found one. So it's not like this has been a completely useless journey. We're still getting a little bit of money from it. But yeah, this close to the bubble, I'm expecting most of this stuff has been discovered. My big question is whether or not it has been mapped. Because that is what I really want. Because you still, if I remember right, you still get the discovery bonus if it has been discovered, but it has not been mapped. And that's really what I'm doing, is the planetary scanner stuff. Got my little spreadsheet up. It's got all the values. Alright, so we got some more metal content worlds here. Yeah, well, we got one metal content world. It's fine. Now there's only 9 planets, I might as well. That's easy enough to get, as long as it's not hidden by the sun. If it is, well, we're just not getting it. Alright. Let's take a look, see what we got here. Anything good? Anything good? Metal, high metal. And ice. Wow, it just jumped out there. All right. We're not really having much luck with the terraformable stuff. Usually I can find at least one terraformable water planet. Really surprised that we really haven't even run into any of those. We found some water planets. We even discovered a few water planets. But nothing terraformable for that big money. Those terraformable water planets are worth almost as much as an Earth-like according to this chart, so yeah, if we can luck into one of those, I won't say no. Alright, is this it? Yep, next jump. Then we can roam. Roam to our heart's content. Yeah. I also haven't been looking at this as much. You know, I found a few notable stellar phenomena, but I don't think it pays anything, so I haven't really been paying too much attention to them. Yeah, I found a few clusters. I found like a mollusk or something like that the last time I went out. I should probably kind of keep an eye out for those, just in case. But like, I don't know. They were, I guess, kind of notable. They were different. they weren't something that I necessarily felt like I needed to really fly out of my way to go see. Right. Here we go. Go ahead and sit here, just inside the Corona. I might go out just a little bit for heat purposes. Make sure that the heat's hold steady. That's holding steady at like 66, 67-ish. I don't think we're going to have to worry about it jumping up to critical. Right, so pretty standard stars. Nothing too crazy. So let's take a look at our map, shall we? Actually, now that I'm rolling here, I should probably take it out just a little bit. There we go. That feels a little better. All right. So what do we got here? What looks interesting in the area? Like there were a couple blue stars. You know, blue, white. Don't know which one to go to. Give this one a shot. Kind of roam. Okay, we're fueled up. We're good. Like I should probably make sure and at least try and stop along, you know, maybe an F or F white star somewhere around here. I've had a lot of luck with F-type stars. I don't know why. Like, I know they have a fairly decent high chance for like Earth-likes compared to most others, but no, just in terms of just seeing cool stuff or even just having things that are worth scanning, they've been pretty good to me so far. 10 bodies. 10 bodies. What do we got? Oh, it's of course it's in the way. Oh. See. Who knows? I mean, I might be able to get all of the metal bodies. Oh, one rocky body's not gonna hurt. We're gonna have, it looks like, what, 2? One that's just on the other side. It's okay. Let's take a look at the system map. Dang. Good luck. It's the only star too. Okay. Well, let's go up a little bit. Keep a roaming up. I don't mind pushing close to the boundaries of how far up we can go. So blue white. Let's go to this one. How many jumps we got? 4? That's not too bad. Yeah, that's usually what I'll do. Just find another star and usually do like jumps of 4 to 6 at a time. Just kind of see what happens along the way. And then slowly start doing the same, arcing back until you know, until it's time to head back home. I just like the big blue stars just because they look cooler. And kind of, you know, when you're traveling across time and space, you get sick of the color yellow. Like it's like P3S in FF14 all over again. You're just kind of tired of it. It only handles so much orange. Okay. Oh, giants. Well, that's fine. Just kind of slowly scoop through here. One, two. Yeah, I mean, it seems like most everything like types have been discovered. It'd be kind of cool if there were still like some type of star, like is still out there somewhere, like some ultra rare. I'm not sure what science would think about that, but the video game hunters would have a field day. It is nice. I do like the discovery catalog will let you at least look at discovered bodies. The first discovered bodies, at least, in like other sectors of the map. You don't have to sit there scrolling the whole time. You just click the thing. It's like, okay, this is obviously the first person that entered the temple. So this is probably a decent path to try and get there from where I'm at, right? Like if you want to go to a different area. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. There we go. It's in the wrong buttons again. Rocky ice again. Why do you do this to me? Nothing but rocky ice as far as the eye can see. That's right, we honked. We did our due diligence. I feel like when I slow down like this, that's actually a fair amount of fuel I'm getting each time. It's obviously not as much as just sitting there in the center of the star, but it's enough that like I might be able to just kind of maintain for a few jumps more than I have been, right? Without having to just sit there and, you know, stay put for 5 minutes. Okay, and this one we got a, is this a red dwarf, brown dwarf maybe? Nothing. Dead to me. There's gonna be a bunch of rocks. Look at this. Yep. Alright. It's okay. Not every mission can be a success. As long as I don't need to call out my ship insurance, it'll be a success. We accomplished something by going all that this far out. If nothing else, it provided us with another 3.5 hours of content for the stream. And you know what? As a VTuber, I will take that as a win. This is like twice as long as my normal stream, so you know that I've got to be engaged, if nothing else. The game has held my attention, which is truly an accomplishment. Okay. A little bit longer loading screen than normal, but that's fine. We got a little bit here, it looks like. What? I don't know. We'll just hop in here and we'll take a look while we're scooping. Ain't good. Oh. Maybe. I have a feeling it's a bait, but we're gonna try it anyways. Yeah, it's gotta be a bait. Okay. Have been previously discovered, if nothing else, but that's cool. Rocky ice again. My beloved. But hey, at least maybe we got some metal content worlds here. Maybe one of them will at least be terraformable this time. I feel like we haven't had much luck. Usually I have a little more luck with the at least getting a terraformable in the past few. Nice. There we go. Another Earth-like. This one has already been scanned, but that's okay. We'll take it. Got a couple Earth-likes under my name, so you know I can't complain all that much. Yeah. Cool. Let's take a look. Hey, we finally found a system that was worth it. It took a while. It's been a few jumps since the last time, huh? Right, all neat and ducked in a row. High metal content, metal. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3. Looks like we have 3 planets worth scanning here. Let's go ahead and get started. See how far out they are is the other thing. There's got to be another 400 KLs. Is that what we're looking for? It's not bad at all. I'll allow it. And the Super Cruise takes me out of the star's necessary path anyways. So win-win for everybody. Yeah. Let me see here real quick. Where were you, Noop? I accidentally closed you. There we go. So what are we looking at? Assuming I get it in time. Earth-like world. But it's still 1.1 million, even if it's not the first discovery. So I can't really complain about that. That's a nice little bit in the tank, right? Oh. So I mean that's definitely, you know, between the high metal content worlds and the Earth likes, I mean we've got a couple pages worth at least a few million. I'm guessing I will probably end up, when all is said and done with all of the scanning, probably about 20 million once I actually return back. Maybe a little bit more if I get lucky on the return trip, but I'm not super confident on it. Not really. Or who knows, maybe I'll go out a little bit further and just spend a couple days out here and just kind of scan. How's that sound for a 24-hour stream for everybody, huh? All right, take me in. Looks like a little bit bigger. So yeah, a little bit more money when it's like that, but a little bit harder to scan. 6 probes, yeah, I'll be fine. Do back here. That pelt, you beat me to it. You probably beat me to it like 7 years ago with how old the game is, but nonetheless. Go. Perfect, perfect. Nice and quick. That's how you do it. There we go. I'm really surprised that we even found two Earth-likes on this same path. Like, that feels probably the weirdest to me. Like, yeah, pretty much none of the other systems had anything of value. I didn't even find really as many water worlds or even an ammonia world like I normally do. But to find 2 Earth worlds along this path is really not bad at all. I'll take it for sure. Whether or not it's going to add up to more than I normally get, that's a better question. I feel like my normal standards of luck have really treated me well, even if they're like a little less exciting to look at on the whole. Yeah. Alright, and you're within viewing distance. Wow. Guys are all just kind of sitting next to each other. See each other in the sky. Take me in with this piano. Take me in, piano man. How big are you gonna be? I can usually tell by when I can actually start the scanner. It starts at 3 million miles out, right? Whatever MNs are. Wow, this music really does fit. Didn't expect that. Okay then. Well, this is gonna be going back into the old rotation at some point. I mean, how can it not? All right, and time for the Earth-like. There we go. Let the music roll for a little bit, I think. Oh, it's ending. Never mind. I hope the voice changer wasn't too annoying this time. I just kind of thought that it sounded like a cool little spacefaring voice. When you're out in the black, you've only got radio transmissions after all. This is your commander, Commander West speaking. How far do we gotta go? Oh, it's like right next door. Two mass Earth-like would be kind of cool. Get even a little bit more money. Yeah. Well, thank you all very much for hanging out with me. I know this is probably morning time Euro hours, I would guess. And for us, it's I started at morning time Euro hours. Early afternoon, maybe. Here, it's just getting to be about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, so people just waking up. You're just waking up. Welcome to the stream here in the old US. The East Coast crew, maybe a few Central Time Zone if you got one of those shifts, right? One of those commutes. I've been there a few times, waking up at 6:30 in the morning. You have to hop on the old bus, take the 2-hour transit down to where I gotta go. Ugh. But it's been a fun journey. It's pretty amazing that I feel like it's been a pretty standard stream, but it's almost twice as long as normal. So yeah, I mean, it's easy for the time to pass pretty quickly in this game without even really realizing it. So I'm not going to complain. I need to do a few longer streams. I'd like to, you know, it wasn't really a resolution for this year, but I would like to start pushing longer streams. I mean, it's very common for me to stay up for 18 to 20 hours anyways on some of my days off, just try and get some work done, just because I'm just generally not tired. So like, yeah, I'd like to use that as an opportunity to maybe do an endurance stream at some point. I've never done an endurance stream. I think we're gonna have to really work up to it. My voice specifically is gonna have to work up to it. But I need to find the kind of content Sorry about the truck. I need to find enough content to fill that. Because I don't think I could do 12 hours of like FF14. I might do Bibu's approach and, you know, maybe try and do 2 hours at a time and really like do a variety of things. I don't think that would necessarily be a bad idea. Might be kind of cool. So that is an option. Super cruise assist deactivate. Get me away from the Earth planet. Don't let me crash into it. Please don't. Only going 7 light years away, so barely any gas needed. At least ended on a white star. But yes, once again, thank you very much for coming in with the stream. Like I said, this isn't like necessarily the normal content that I do. I'm more of a variety streamer, but I definitely enjoy the game, so it'll probably pop up here and there. But you know, if you want to check out some more variety stuff, or you just want to hang out with me and hear my thoughts on games, as always, like and subscribe. Ooh, a twin sun. I feel like, yeah, this is a good way to end it right here. Some dual sun action. 11 bodies. None of them, oh, that's kind of cool. Doesn't look like any of them are Earth-like, but we've got plenty of metal content. Discovered but not mapped. Yeah, like and subscribe, and you know, we'll be doing quite a bit of stuff this weekend with FanFest and everything going on, so we've got plenty more to come. But yeah, I'm Wes. I try streaming at least 3 times a week. Tends to be what I aim for. And you know, we'll be pushing that up a little bit. Obviously, the more you guys support the channel, the less I have to rely on retail, and the more streams we can fit in, more content, try different things. But yeah, I think maybe next time we might do a guitar stream. We'll see. I'm debating between that and Final Fantasy VIII right now, because I do want to get some more of that done too. But the options are there. Yeah, I had a fun time today. I feel like we got a lot done. We lucked out with some of these planets, I think. We definitely found some good ones. And I'll be exploring out here on my own in the system. Just doing my own scans. Usually off stream and just kind of checking things out. Ah, this is kind of cool. Not gonna lie, this is kind of a cool system. Here we go. Guessing none of these will be terraformable with 2 suns in the way. Oh, hey. All right, and that one has not been mapped yet. Let's take a look, but first, yeah, enter my free camera. Yeah, look at that. Not bad. Not bad at all. I always like the twin sun systems. They're not like as rare as like twin, what is it, neutron stars. I have seen some screenshots of those, but still kind of cool. I still like the one for my thumbnail more though. The 2 twin white stars. That was pretty come across. All right. Where am I going here? How far out are you? Go ahead and get this scanned in, and that'll be our ending. That'll be our nice finish for the evening. I feel like an undiscovered terraformable a metal content system. Really can't go wrong with it. Exploration and mining. I'm guessing that's Odyssey content or something. Maybe something you can do. Or maybe it's got rings on it. I don't think I saw the ring ring little thingy, but I could be wrong. Now let's see how big it is. Maybe I'll get really lucky and get a double mass. Get a double mass undiscovered or unmapped. Unmapped terraformable. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be too easy? Sure, drink your water, everybody. If you need to go to bed, go to bed. I'll still be up for a little bit doing some other stuff. There we go. But yeah, make sure and take care of yourselves. But yeah, I kind of wonder what it would be like trying to fly a Diamondback Explorer. Like, this thing does not exactly have like a bunch of leg room, right? Like, I figure if you're out in space this long, it'd be more like a semi-truck where you got kind of a bed in the back and stuff. But it really doesn't look to be the case. Because you just kind of sleep in your chair. And yeah, there's the net there. What are you? Yeah, ring planet. Looks like those are little options beside it. Maybe that was the asteroid belt that I scanned. Could have been the case. Let's get this slowed down. And approaching. Readying the probes. I'm guessing it will be a 6 probe planet. That is just my guess. I would not complain about a 7 or 8 for the income, assuming I can hit the efficiency target on it. Ah, so it is a ringed one. Nice. Very cool, very cool. Haven't found too many ringed metal content planets yet. I don't know why. Yeah, they just don't tend to have rings on them. So, you gotta watch out for the ring. I found out that out the hard way. Yeah. I ended up wasting a probe on the rings on one of the planets that I found before. Little weird that that's a thing, but you know, I don't make the rules. There we go, there we go. Not a bad hit. Alright, so how are we doing the rest of this? How are we doing this, I wonder? I only need 3%. Which one would be my better option? See, that's got the ring right there, though. That's what I'm worried about. We're gonna attempt it. We're gonna attempt that one. I've still got one probe breathing room, so let's give it a shot. I think it'll be enough. Ooh, so close. So close. Let's go ahead and do it just past the horizon down here. And that should cover that last percent. But no, hey, I mean, we hit our target. That's all that matters. It would have been nice to get it a little bit under, but that's okay. As long as I don't lose money off of it. That's all I'm worried about. Very nice, very nice. So we got here, we'll make the final jump and then that'll be it. Want to go to the B star? Let's go to the B star. Why not? Let's just, for the sake of science, shall we? Ring here. should be far enough. Thankfully, I'm already kind of facing the right direction, so I can't complain too much. Rings are very cool, though. But also, when you know how game dev works, the rings are also the obvious tell of like how the game is loading, right? When it actually pops in with the actual looks. Ooh, that one is bright. Gotcha. Only 2 bodies. Checks out. Did a cool one at least. It's got twin stars again. SF star. Alright. So that is going to be our stream for today. Once again, thank you very much to everyone that stopped by. Again, like, subscribe if you like the content, want to check out some other stuff. I'm Wes. I usually do story-based and exploration-based games. And as you can see, I'm a VTuber. So thank you very much, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.